Round, 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 round. Again. Mm-hmm. We stood unbroken. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I need to unplug this. Everyone stop talking shit. Good. Oh, hold on. Good day, Earl. Good to see you. I hope you're having a nice day. Okay, I'm going to do the Wordle real quick, because we got a busy... we got a busy thing. By the way, one of you who said that, like, Thomas Massie has the chance to do the coolest thing. I was like, they did do some pretty cool shit. Also, finally beating my nicotine addiction-ish. I'm managing to cut down to 3 a day now. Hopefully I can get it down to 2 and then 1 and then 0, but I don't know. We'll honor his name. Oh, is chat not showing up? No, chat just did... I don't know why I did that. Chat just started showing up and I didn't do anything. God, you know what? I haven't shouted at my PC because of Ethan Klein in ages. My God, that guy makes me... He makes my fucking... My blood boil. I hate that guy. I don't really care to quit nicotine that much. Evening, Pug Loafing Mama. Pug, how you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you. I guess you saw that I haven't been uploading on Twitch. Do we have Massie and McConnell from Kentucky? Feels weird being a Kentuckian. Yeah, I mean, shout out Thomas Massie-ish. Surprising he's a Republican. It's also surprising that like more people haven't gone down that path of just being just going like full on nuclear on Trump and just harassing him, like pumping out as much information as you can about the Epstein files. I'm gonna start with that. No, it's not got flout. Yeah, let's go with. Oh wow. Crane we're gonna go for. Okay, right. The only thing it could be would be something ending in... I feel like it has to be... You don't tend to have words like that, do you? CNE? Is that like a thing? Macne... What? No. It's going to be a double E or a... Oh, wait. No, I was thinking because most of the words are like that, aren't they? It can't have an A. And it has to be... I think it has to be C here. Unless it's EC. Inine? Ickney? Inchy? Yeah, of course the C has to be second, though. So it probably starts with a vowel, then. And then it's something like that. Scene? Oh, no, it is scene, isn't it? Yeah, great. Yeah, it's scene. I couldn't think of a word that starts with, that couldn't start with that, but, you know, and you just can't get it, so, yeah. We got an exciting stream today, though. I'll do the connections as well, just to pass the time a little bit. Yes, Drac the Ripper, you do have an idea. Stop pretending you don't know what this is about. And you sleep into the stream. You will not be sleeping today. This is a very, 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 very exciting stream, as always. Interview commentary. Outtakes. DJ KO. This is like this is words spelled out, and there's got to be something else here. Like a DJ KO as in knockout. MC as in MC, and then there's one more. EXP? No, that didn't make sense. Tiresome trailer. Outtakes? What's the other one? Yeah, I've got MC. I don't have the other one. Okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't even see there was okay. It's word spelling out initialisms. Okay. DJ. MC. What was the... You thought there was... Yeah, this is the gaming stream today. This is the gaming that we're doing. Okay, guys. Okay. I don't like that sponge guy. That thing. Just don't talk about that, please. God. Oh, your boy is a little tired today. Oof. Late one. By accident. One of those times where you're trying to go to sleep. Why is it spokesperson, Rimshot, Hubbub, and Tiresome? Why is it those? Started with tire, spoke, hub, rim. Wow. Tire-related words. Very good. Parts of a wheel. Yeah. Very, very, very good. You are playing Elden Ring offline. Yep, I have been playing a bit of Elden Ring. I've actually played quite a bit recently. Because girlfriend's no longer here, so I have to do something to pass the time. But yeah, I've been enjoying some Elden Ring. I just killed Astel, which I've never done before. I've played through it, so I've killed everything about Starscourge, apart from Starscourge Radahn. I hadn't killed Fortisax. I hadn't killed... Outtakes, trailer, convention, commentary. I feel like... No, wait, it's not trailer, it's interview. They're things, DVD... Oh, fuck, it would be DVD extras. What is it? Or is one of them wrong? Oh, convention. It's interview and trailer, I think. I've killed Starscourge Radahn. I've not killed the final one. Yeah. I don't know why I was clicking the wrong one there. I was like, oh, what? Exhibition. That was stupid. Bless you. How do men survive without women? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Hey, Chris, can you talk about that Hind girl who was in the files, pimp her sister? I have not seen any coverage of who she is. Yeah, I can talk about that a bit. I mean, I actually didn't write down much about that, but I was more interested in... Obviously, everyone thought that it was Epstein sending the thing, but it was actually much more... it was actually much more... it wasn't much more. It was Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. I don't know why I kept putting in the wrong one there. Oh, I do have some good memes, though, for today. Or, like, a couple. I actually don't have many, unfortunately. Did any of you see Israel's slopaganda that they've been uploading? Whatever the hell this is. That's Israeli salad. That's Israeli salad. Made the desert bloom. Work hard, beach harder. 3,000 years still in beta testing. Multitasking under pressure. Solving problems before falafel. It's amazing. The things happening in the UAE are unbelievable. It really is, sorry, happening in the UAE, happening in Israel. Same country, basically. What is this? That's my Ark Knight rolls. What's Ark Knight rolls? As in Arkham Knight? What are you talking about? Arkham Knight? I played most of that, but I never finished it. But the person talking about, yeah, the Star of David does look crazy. You are right. That is a good point. It's also really funny how bad the AI is, that, like, the AI has generated the laptop screen backwards. So the way that the laptop should be is the wrong way around. Like, obviously the screen should be facing towards the Israeli flag man. And this was posted by the official Israeli account. I'm sure everyone's seen the terrible Discord rollout of ID. Yeah, I hadn't played the game since it's a gacha game. What's a gacha game? What are you talking about? I haven't listened to all of the new True and On, but I enjoyed what I did listen to. It was good. It was interesting. About 3 pixels too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's also one of the. It's not even a laptop. It's one of those things that you can insert like a laptop, like an iPad into a keyboard, and it's amazing. Multitasking under pressure. It's just you love to see it. Pull for characters, where you need pull for characters. Okay, essence of gangster SpongeBob. Gacha game is basically loot box. Why are you talking about this gacha game? Gacha game. I've never heard of a gacha game before. Top 10 new anime gacha games. Yes, please. I will be watching. I was here to find out about the gacha games. By the way, also, if you want to see some independent Chris Kunzler reporting that I've not seen anyone else report on as of yet. Wait, we'll get into that in a bit, actually. We'll get into that. We'll cover a little bit more meme stuff and, like, interesting stuff. Genshin Impact. Bro, I don't know what this is. Like, I like Elden Ring and adult games like Dota. Someone posted this on Images of History and the responses were insane. So it's Al-Majdal in the months after its capture in 1948. It's crazy looking at these. Those carrots look good. Carrots colorized. Oh, I also need to say I'm live. So it's a casual team. Would FIFA be considered a gacha game? Live on YouTube right now, covering Thomas Massie nuclear. I'm just posting that we're live. Link to the Discord. Perfect. Thank you. I forgot to do that yesterday. I realized. Gacha games is a sort of gachapon. It's a type of slot machine, vending machine from toys from Japan. I do not like. FIFA is anime. FIFA is anime 100%. I didn't know that that's what it was. Thank you for letting me know, and now I know something more about gacha games. I feel very good. Oh, also, have you guys seen that there's loads of discourse about Mr. Beast being evil because of this? He acquired a teen-focused financial app valued at $900 million in a deal reportedly worth over $1 billion. By the way, I don't like Mr. Beast. Never have. He was obviously never intriguing to me. And I feel that just flaunting mega wealth is not really... It doesn't really make for interesting content to me. And being like, I spent $1 billion on... you know, like the Ethan Klein podcast experience. By the way, I think I said I hope that you guys enjoyed the new episode of the podcast. It was really good, and Aaron and now is brilliant. Aruna now, sorry, I called him Aaron again, but it was a brilliant podcast. What else was I going to talk about? There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, Mr. Beast UAE. When he was in Dubai doing like the $101 versus $500,000 experience, and the last experience was climbing the Burj Khalifa, that was my final straw. I was just like, oh, come on. And when he's like skydiving over Dubai, it's just like, oh, there's no way that the Emirati government isn't like, yeah, do this, do this. For money is not philosophy. There are many a lady and lad, sometimes inappropriate designs, but I would say most is actually nice design characters. Louder for the rest in the back. Philanthropy for money is also not philanthropy. Yeah, I love that thing where he was like, I don't pay myself a salary. And it's like, that's actually a really scummy technique of people who are incredibly wealthy and have companies that make them huge amounts of money. Because obviously what you do is you pay yourself a tiny salary, so you get taxed less and you write everything off as like a business expense, which, you know, you can get away with and do like unbelievable things with to basically hide your money. But I will never be a fan of Mr. Beast. Hold on, I'm going to say that I'm live on TikTok and Instagram. Oh, my arms. Hey, no violence towards Jimmy Beast. Please, no violence towards Jimmy Beast. Jimmy Beast, don't say... I just got a Rise of Kingdoms ad. How long until I'm taking the Rise of Kingdoms sponsor? That's the question that's on all your lips, I know it. Hello everyone, I am live on YouTube right now. You can check it out in the link here. No, I'm not going to do it like that. Hello everyone, I am live on YouTube right now. I'm covering Epstein going... No, I'm not covering Epstein. Hello everyone, I am live on YouTube right now. I am covering Thomas Massie going nuclear on the Epstein files, the Australian police brutality towards pro-Palestine protesters to protect the genocidal maniac that is Isaac Herzog, and so much more. So if you're seeing this on Instagram, you guys know by now, link is here. If you're seeing it on TikTok, the link is in the damn bio. Get in. I'm also back to being a TikToker again. I created another video. That's why I was delayed for the stream. So I actually had a good excuse for being late for the stream for once. I need to bin that. Hold on. I could do it before the stream, but I'm not very good at it. Do you think Mr. Beast will become a Maoist and make videos such as, I spent $1 billion of arming a resistance organization? I think that would be cool of him. Yeah, I think his next video will be Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast meets up with, you know, Hezbollah. A $100,000 missile versus $1 million Iranian missile. He'll do that, I think, probably. $100,000 Hezbollah missile versus $1 million Iranian missile. Hold on. I've just been recommended a video by Marshall Family Songs of them singing about What Did You Do, Peter Mandelson? Hello everyone, I am live on YouTube. Yep. Mao is the original Mr. Beast, except he was just beast mode. Also, by the way, I got myself into a bit of a Twitter beef with someone who I have a long-standing Twitter beef with. This guy who was a fucking moron. Aiden Hykin, sorry, who you're probably familiar with. So he posted this AI-generated image of Epstein wearing a keffiyeh. Now, by the way, anyone who actually looks into the Epstein files, Epstein was by no means pro-Palestine. However, I will also say that Epstein was completely clueless about the Middle East. I think he just supported Israel because it was Western and because there's more money to be made in it than the Palestinian cause. There are actually a couple of emails of him talking with someone who seems to be like somewhat of an official in Ramallah or something, and he tries to get over there, or tries to get over, and but the notion that he was pro-Palestine is completely ridiculous in the context of what's actually in the Epstein files. But let's have a listen. His personal hacker sold information to Hezbollah. Yep, they're very interested in that. Said he hated Israel. Technically, he just said that he didn't want to meet in Israel, and he didn't like meeting there. Tried to short the Israeli stock market. Someone making money out of shorting. Like, you think that a guy with no morals is someone who really is indicative of being pro-Palestine. He didn't give a shit about Palestine, mate. Planned with Ehud Barak to break the rabbinate monopoly. Well, I don't really know why that would stop you being a Mossad agent. There are plenty of security officials who have negative views of Netanyahu. The really significant example is Tamir Pardo. And Tamir Pardo is a former Mossad chief, the former director of Mossad. He referred to... he accused Israel in 2023 he accused the Israeli right of being worse than the KKK. Look, someone took the Ku Klux Klan and brought it into the government, and this is what happened. So the notion that working with Ehud Barak to break right-wing religious dominance in Israel is somehow like an anti-Israel thing to be doing is stupid and illiterate. Plotted to demographically replace the religious Zionists to collapse Netanyahu's base. Why would that stop you being a Mossad agent? I'm sure that there are many people within Mossad who literally view what Netanyahu is doing as wrong because it's taking Israel off a cliff. In fact, I don't think that needs to be said. That is true. They view it as basically Netanyahu being a problem because they're causing issues for the continuation of the state of Israel. He's also, by the way, this guy isn't willfully blind. It's just a grift. He gave $10 million to the UN personal representative of the PLO. I think he's talking about Terje Rod Larsen there. Now, Terje Rod Larsen being the representative of the PLO, what Terje Rod Larsen saw for Palestine was not like something that was anti-Israel. It was an attempt to establish a two-state solution, one that was done in secret and actually undermined the Palestinian cause. People that post this kind of slop never give you a case number to search for. Do your own research, peeps, or don't if you love yourself. Yes, thank you for the $5, Terratrove, and always thank you for being here and supporting. But yeah, I mean, I've seen that thing. I mean, I think the scale of October the 7th, whatever happened, surprised Israel. I think that it will have surprised Israel undeniably because it was just so large and so much more significant than they expected. By the way, I'm not sure if I can watch Reuters. I think Reuters may be copyright. But I will show the Chinese horse that's taking over. But yeah, I agree with you. I think you could actually find like a lot of this stuff. I've never seen the personal hacker selling information to Hezbollah. Maybe it's true. This stuff is true here as well. But the notion that this is indicative of being pro-Palestine is insane. And then I said, I am an Israeli and this is my research. And then he said, I'm a white guy and here I'm saving Palestine by sucking off Palestinians. And I said, brilliant, Aiden. You are one of the greatest minds Israel has ever seen. So I thought that was a pretty good response. Okay, right. I'll show the Chinese horse. Accidental crying toy horse wins hearts in China. This is the toy horse. The crying horse is how you look at work, while the smiling one is how you look after work, Zhang said. As demand surged, Zhang decided to keep making the sad-faced version. Wow. Indicative of, even the Chinese are not enjoying the work-life balance. But in the UK, wow, we need to alter the work-life balance. That's what we're going to get out of the glorious man that is Nigel Farage. He's going to alter our work-life balance. Someone posted this video as well of, so Suella Braverman is a racist sack of shit who's married to a guy called Rael Braverman, who's like unequivocally pro-Israel. He's an Israeli guy. He quit Reform UK because they were critical of his wife, and then he rejoined because his wife became a member. But look at this congregation of minds in Birmingham. Look at the average age here must be 90. Like, it is really insane. These are not young people at all. But I guess this is who this right-wing stuff really appeals to. This is who the base is. Old people. I didn't know that, Drac, that it was they were disabled through laser pointers. I thought they struck most of, like, the information stuff through... they struck most of the information stuff through drone strikes. That's really interesting. Yeah, it's also really interesting as well because there's a great analogy about how, like, Israelis think that they're all powerful and so they kind of fell asleep at the wheel. And I think that there's a lot of truth to that. That they were like, yeah, Palestinians will never be able to do anything to us. We're invincible. And the reality was quite different. It's crazy. People are really cheering for the elite telling them to toil harder for the rich, as long as Nigel Farage earns the salary of most people in the UK through through Cameo, or like near enough the salary. He then gets paid hundreds of thousands for being an MP. He takes huge amounts of donations from like doing gold sponsorships as well. So yeah, but the final thing I wanted to talk about, have any of you seen this? So this is the Israeli baseball team. These are the people who pay for the Israeli baseball team. So you got Charlie Bielenson, Josh Blum, Matt Bowman, all of them are from the US, and they will basically be competent at baseball enough, but so shit that they couldn't play for America, and so they were like, right, I'm going to play for Israel. And so, yeah, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. I mean, it's kind of indicative of Israel as a whole. It's just Americans and Westerners. Mm-hmm. Hello, domesticated honeybee. Good to see you. They all look odd. The American people look odd. Oh, wait. Actually, I had one more thing. Where did I put it? Okay, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, amazing things are happening over in Israel, over in the UK. It never really ends. Oh my god, actually, I wish I could show it. I can't show any of it because it will be copyrighted. But there's like a Palestine Action documentary came out last night. And it was basically admitted that there was no truth to links with Iran, that the UK government had inflated that they'd claimed that Palestine Action were going to do all of these heinous attacks on Jewish-owned businesses, and the reality couldn't be further from the truth. It was all made up to demonize Palestine Action, and so they didn't have to. So they didn't actually have to basically just say, okay, you know, the reason that we're doing this is because they damaged Israeli military property. And just the things happening in the UK. I mean, this is Declassified, whose event I actually spoke at, and which you can't see. Wait, actually, do you want to see a video of me at Declassified UK? If you wanted to, you could see it. But I can't, I'm not talking in the video. It's Kneecap's manager speaking.
Our answer to that news, for us to travel to America and to be educated on the Middle East.
Is he here?
Hold on.
Imagine that he...
Just
Look, I'm there. This is my show the follow-up story I linked. What follow-up story? No joke staff who created viral crying horse toy to get $1,600 bonus for 12 years. Congratulations to the viral staff man who, Zhang Huoqing, the owner of the toy shop Happy Sisters, can be seen giving an employee a red packet of gratitude. Wow. The next year of the horse, so 12 whole years. Congratulations to him.
before I've written.
But if you're wondering, there's a photo of me at the encampment. There's Peter Oborn, who's quite a significant journalist. There's Laura Webster, who is the editor of the National and Sunday National. And this is Dan Lambert, who is Kneecap's manager.
Written some notes and it said there, like, I'm not a media expert, but
I had to send them the picture, but you can see me if you want. I'm in this. That's me.
And could
Also, by the way, I couldn't hear a word he was saying, so
listen to two different.
the interest is it's not real because you couldn't hear a word he was saying. I caught about one word.
For news source.
Everyone else could hear it, but I couldn't because for me it was like they didn't have speakers facing this way.
Who are both coming from state broadcasters and hear an entirely different narrative. It's really.
Yes, they are. I once got gifted a red envelope because I have some Chinese family. So I was very happy about that. But yeah, Mandelson lobbied Israel for Tory government. Jeffrey Epstein's friends are everywhere, man. Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of friends in high places. a less evil person than every sitting Labour MP. Yeah, what a world of irony, eh? What a world of irony. Peter Oborne being a more decent person than nearly every MP. But anyway, so a major scandal, or what should be a major scandal, but because it relates to Palestine, it doesn't really matter. But let's have a listen to this.
Messages here. And I've only just, to be honest, Wes, I'm literally just reading them shortly before you came in. But
so this is Wes Streeting, a member of the cabinet, who is the Secretary of State for Health. I said the Secretary of State for Health, but yes,
there is a lot of genuine intimacy here and friendship. You know, Wes to you, to Peter, great pitch, lovely photos in the time Peter sends you a kiss. There's well done on the BBC. This is Peter Mandelson to you in June 25. I'm literally reading them as I go along. Well,
I just don't know why you would maintain a relationship with someone who's friends with Jeffrey Epstein and just continue talking to him and texting him.
Well done on the BBC, very good kiss. Are you planning to visit the US this year? You hope so, ! Kiss. Are you embarrassed by that? I mean, that's quite an intimate friendship, isn't it?
No, look, an intimate friendship. With Peter Mandelson, look, I'm
Wes, there's dozens and dozens
I'm very happy to...
But there are dozens and dozens of messages.
It is
and people
ridiculous.
be able to read them. What I felt I saw over the weekend was this implication that somehow I had something to hide and that there were going to be very embarrassing or damaging messages coming out. Now,
those are pretty damaging and damning messages that you continued sending kisses to a friend of Jeffrey Epstein after there were photographs and all of this information about him. Heart Party, thanks for becoming a member. Shout out and welcome to level 1.
do I resile from friendship with Peter Mandelson? Yes, absolutely, given his behaviour and what he's done. Do I resile from those messages? No.
How embarrassed are you by these WhatsApps between you and him?
I'm embarrassed to have known Peter Mandelson.
I just find it really odd that all of these people say they're embarrassed. Like, you can't act as if you were just fooled by Peter Mandelson, because all of this information was readily available. I mean, A Up Lovely was posting about Peter Mandelson over and over again, but it's just like, it's unbelievable. I didn't hear him sound like he said Hitler, but yeah. This journalist, Beth Rigby, was photographed a few months ago meeting McSweeney in a cafe for an off-the-record meeting and literally never addressed it. Of course they won't address it because the media's just as complicit in this. The Palestine Action documentary showed that. No, I'm definitely not white Chinese, no.
I hope that more than anything else actually in those messages, I hope I haven't caused either embarrassment or discomfort for my cabinet colleagues.
I think embarrassment isn't the issue. It is that you continually maintained a friendship with Jeffrey Epstein's mate, Peter Mandelson. Now, I want to show you what the actual major scandal is. What you have here is an example of said tweets. I'm actually going to start doing this now, because when I do this way, you can't always see them. There. Oh no, what have I done? Okay, so this is Wes Streeting talking about Palestine with Peter Mandelson. Wes Streeting, I'm sure this will come up in coming days, so wanted to check in with you, re-recognition of Palestine. Can you see this? Or is it the issue just my camera's going to get in the way? Ah, fuck it. So wanted to check with you on recognition of Palestine and domestic policy of it. Keir Starmer today was excellent, but Macron's statement tonight ups the ante. Morally and politically, I think we need to join France. Morally, because Israel is committing war crimes before our eyes. Their government talks the language of ethnic cleansing, and I have met with our own medics out there who describe the most chilling and distressing scenes of calculated brutality against women and children. This is a guy who is a member of a government who is defending Israel, who maintains that Israel is one of our closest allies. He talks about how he's met how he affirms pretty much everything we're saying. Sure, he doesn't say the term genocide, and I don't think that this offers him any reprieve from who and what he is. He's still as much of a monster. But isn't this isn't this an unbelievable scandal that you can find private messages of just saying Israel is committing war crimes before our eyes, that their government is talking the language of ethnic cleansing, and that medics out there describe chilling and distressing scenes of calculated brutality against women and children? What even is there to say? Like, it goes on. Politically, a Commons vote will be engineered in September on recognition, and we will lose it if we're not ahead. There are no circumstances in which people like me or Shabana could abstain or vote against it. For example, conference will be a sea of Palestinian flags and the moderates will be waving them. We need to be leading the charge on this. The alternative is being dragged there with the enormous damage to Kia, the government and the party. I've never been as shrinking violent on Israel. I've supported Labour Friends of Israel for over 20 years. Our sister party, Haaretz, and progressives are clear about what's being done in their name and they oppose it. Haaretz, the newspaper? It's not a party. I guess he just made a mistake there, but yeah. I had to double check that because I was like, it's a newspaper. And yeah, Labour Friends of Israel, disgusting. I've never been I appreciate these things are always more complicated than they appear to those of us who aren't up close as you are. And I also appreciate how much Keir and David are giving to this personally. Truly unbelievable that you can... I don't know if these thoughts really exist in his head. Like, this guy sits here and tells you that they're committing war crimes, and then months before privately admitting it, according to Declassified, he accepted a £5,000 donation from pro-Israel lobbyist Trevor Chin. Chin said, "I've spent my entire life working for Israel, and in 2024, he was awarded the Israeli Medal of Honor for his services to the state of Israel." Amazing. Like, it's just such a major scandal. And by the way, there was loads of stuff about them genuinely being scared of losing the election because of their position on Palestine. By the way, all of these people, and the Dems know it in private, the Democrats all know it, all of those, some of them are repugnant, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them will just happily admit that they know Israel is committing war crimes. Our sister party, the Israeli Labour Party, Haaretz and whatever the... okay, cool. But, like, listen to this. I fear we're in big trouble here, and I am toast at the next election. We just lost our safest ward in Redbridge, 51% Muslim, Ilford S, to a Gaza independent. At this rate, I don't think we'll hold on the 2 Ilford seats. Mandelson told him, "The government doesn't have an economic philosophy. That is then followed through in a programme of policies." Sorry, I need to blow my nose. Hold on. Excuse me. But yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy. Labour Friends of Israel. Just how you can make yourself a Labour Friend of Israel is just genuinely unbelievable in this kind of time. You know, how you can consider yourself someone who is a friend of Israel is just unbelievable. This is the guy, by the way, signing contracts with Palantir, just loving Palantir and bringing them into British healthcare. It's just awful. And the fact that he can say that privately and admit, yeah, the problem is we're just terrible on Gaza. He knows, because there's war crimes and because they're not doing anything about it. They're losing it to independents who basically just profit off that. A lot of these independents aren't always great themselves. They're better on Palestine, which is obviously a good thing. However, some of them have been pretty transphobic and have had pretty regressive right-wing policies on certain things. But simultaneously, what I will say is that, the government does the same thing. Wes Streeting himself has actually been quite transphobic at times. So, you know. But I guess that now brings us on to our first major story, which is the Epstein files. I said that there wasn't going to be any sort of update on the Epstein files because, you know, we've done a lot about them, but the stuff has really taken off. I talked to the host of FTN before the president election. Privately, she said Kamala made a huge step not supporting Palestine. Yep, 100%. 100%. It's unbelievable. It's a huge misstep because it's not it's a total failure to offer any kind of left-wing meaningful challenge to, you know, American empire. And it's also something that is an incredible misstep because it's popular to support Palestine. But the problem is I don't think people will accept the fucking platitudes of just being like, oh, I support Palestine a bit and we'll give two-state when Israel is erasing it. Oh, I just figured everyone in the UK was transphobic. She looks like Yasmin from Corrie. She also, by the way, for some reason, I don't know what is going on with Ghislaine Maxwell, but she's really Rose Westified herself. She's Rose West maxing. Rose West, in case you don't know, is a horrifying serial killer from the UK, but for some reason Ghislaine Maxwell is looking like her. There's a photo of Rose West. They've got almost the same trim. Obviously Rose West hair's a little longer and she's wearing those glasses that are slightly smaller, but you know, you don't have to be exactly the same.
Do you solemnly declare and affirm under the penalty
A rare window inside the Texas prison where Ghislaine Maxwell is serving 20 years for sex trafficking. The new video shows Maxwell appearing yesterday via video link in front of Congress in a closed-door meeting for survivors.
Well, that's the thing. Some libs definitely do love Israel, but also a lot of them need to come to this hard realization that it is totally unpopular and that, in fact, even a lot of moderate people have become very radicalized on Palestine over the last few years, and it is a huge misstep to not do it. You would have gained so much of the vote by taking a different policy to Biden, by holding Israel to account. But ultimately, they do know that Israel is under the most threat it's ever been, and that's probably the biggest indication of why they won't do anything. Because ultimately, Israel is under threat, not militarily right now, realistically. I mean, Iran can obviously cause problems for Israel and American allies in the MENA region, but it's under threat because of its lack of popularity and the way in which Israelis and the Israeli government are seen throughout the world. It's not good. It is not a good position. And they're going to make this hard realization, although it really does seem like some of the older ones are still really clinging to this notion that they're going to fix Israel's image. People like Hillary Clinton, Sarah Horowitz, all these people are stupid and they are wrong to think that they are going to fix Israel's image in the eyes of the vast majority of Westerners, yet they still push forward with this notion. I genuinely don't know why. But they don't want to lose their ally in the Middle East just as much as the Republicans don't. Do we have libs in the UK? Yeah, they're called Labour Party supporters. And I'm kind of done with talking about McSweeney, but I know that he is Mandelson's closest protege. I know that he was allegedly raised in part in a settlement in Israel, or a kibbutz, excuse me, not a settlement, right?
It was a moment for answers. Instead, this.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question.
I would like to answer your question, but I can't.
But on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. I therefore invoke my right to silence. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
As expected, Maxwell exercised
Why did she need to keep reading that? I guess it's probably because she's stressed, but still.
Her right to the Fifth Amendment, meaning she can choose not to give evidence that may incriminate her. However, her lawyer said Maxwell would be prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump.
I'm going to have to assert my Fifth, Sixth and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
If it all sounds familiar, that's because it is. Survivors say it reinforces a pattern that they have long described from both Epstein and Maxwell: self-preservation over accountability.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell certainly has critical information that would help us understand exactly, what happened and who was there at varying times. Some of that we've been able to piece together through the information from other witnesses, et cetera, but she was definitely at the center of this. The problem is she will never tell the truth.
Maxwell's appearance comes as Congress members criticised what they called the over-redacted Epstein files.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their...
We're going to watch this video later, so we don't need to watch this now.
It's been more than a week since the US Department of Justice released millions of videos, texts and emails in connection with the Epstein.
Yeah, it's right. She shouldn't have the Fifth Amendment right. Also, why do they keep showing these photos of Jeffrey Epstein having an allergic reaction?
Scandal. A drip feed of information exposing a mapping of men in power across the globe.
I can't listen to that.
After their founder, Kate...
Yeah, Chapel Roan has left her talent agency.
Casey Wasserman was named in the Epstein files. Wasserman had exchanged flirtatious emails with Ghislaine Maxwell over 2 decades ago and has since said he deeply regrets it. From Pops...
I do think that Ghislaine may well get a pardon. I think that's what she's angling for, and I think that that's what she wants.
Stars to politicians caught with their trousers down, the Epstein files have almost brought down the British government. And as tens of millions watched, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein had this message broadcast at the Super Bowl.
This girl deserves the truth. Because she deserves the truth.
Using the most public platform to ask simply for the truth, while Maxwell used hers for silence and not for the first time. And joining me now to discuss all of this is Charlotte Proudman, barrister and campaigner specialising in violence against women and girls. Charlotte, thanks for joining us. I mean, what sort of message do you think this sends to survivors watching Ghislaine Maxwell on this very public stage, refusing to answer questions?
I think it's a real slap in the face for survivors who we know from the emails that have been disclosed have suffered some of the most horrendous, torturous events perhaps imaginable, from rape, sexual assault, deep forms of harm, that being girls and women.
But I think the point vis-a-vis why it's like she shouldn't get the Fifth Amendment is because the US has regularly taken away Fifth Amendment rights and tortured people to get information out of them over and over again. But when it comes to, and I don't think that's a good thing, but when it comes to someone like Ghislaine, why is it that she can just do that? Is that really acceptable? Is that really, like a world in which we should live? And also, I think the cover-up is just undeniable.
We know that Maxwell herself was involved in the trafficking of women, and yet here she is, one of the only people that we know has had a direct role in the abuses inflicted by Epstein and other very famous, powerful men, and refusing to provide any information.
Now, survivors say Maxwell's silence sort of reflects a pattern of self-preservation over accountability that they've seen time and time again. I mean, is that something you've seen, Charlotte?
Absolutely. I mean, we do tend to see where there have been abuses of power, that perpetrators will still focus on their own self-preservation and making sure that they won't be held accountable for any further crimes. But often what we tend to see sometimes is that perpetrators will hold others accountable and will suggest that they may not be responsible, but other people are. And what we see in the Maxwell cases, effectively not telling the world, certainly not survivors, who else is responsible.
Hashtag Gitmo for Ghislaine. Do you think after she gets a pardon, she'll move to Israel? Oh, yeah, that's the trajectory. Do sex crimes move to Israel? It's the new meta.
Congress has criticised the Epstein files for, in their words, being overly redacted. I mean, in your view, are these redactions protecting national security, as some claim, or are they protecting powerful individuals?
I think one of the ironic things about the redactions is that we hear from victims that their privacy has been invaded because the files have not been appropriately redacted. So it's quite easy, I'm told, to get hold of victims' names, potentially their medical records, social security records, and so forth. And yet when it comes to perpetrators, we see that their names are redacted. Of course, not all of them, but very many of them are redacted. Now, what is the purpose of those redactions? Surely it can't be national security. And there is, in my view, and certainly what would outweigh that, is a public interest in holding those perpetrators accountable.
I mean, with your barrister's hat on, legally now, what are the routes, do you think, for survivors? We've seen that, you know, justice appears to have stopped with Maxwell. Are there other paths that they could pursue?
I mean, I would like to see those that have sent emails to Epstein who are directly implicated or indeed themselves have perpetrated sexual violence upon women and girls investigated by the police and by law enforcement agencies, whether that's in the...
I think you're going to be investigating too many people at that point who are involved with Epstein. There'll be no one left in power, almost.
The UK or the US. For example...
Harvard University will literally just be a smouldering crater in the ground.
I think it would be only right that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is investigated by the police. Why hasn't he been investigated? Yet Mandelson, who supposedly leaked confidential information from the government to Epstein, a convicted paedophile at the time, has been investigated by the police. Why is it that survivors...
I think that's also the really important thing to note. Lots of people are surprised that there's accountability in Britain. It's not because Mandelson had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein or any of the bizarre shit that he was sending to him. It's because he sent him government information.
And indeed their right to bodily integrity, to freedom of violence, are not taken seriously. It just shows to me that the policing priorities are not right.
I mean, you talk of consequences, you know, from politicians to pop stars. We are seeing a sort of severing of ties after individuals are named in the files. I wonder, do you think that reputational pressure and damage can succeed where the justice system has failed?
I used to think so. I think particularly during the Me Too movement, I did think that reputational damage perhaps can sometimes outweigh and indeed perhaps even grapple with some of the challenges and barriers within the criminal justice system in terms of holding perpetrators accountable.
Kind of amazing that that's actually the crux of this story, and the UK grooming gang story, and Jimmy Savile, and pretty much every story that you can think of on this topic. Like, all of this boils down to the fact that there is just a huge inability, because of the way our criminal justice systems work, to trust survivors. That's the issue. And when you're as powerful as Epstein, the kind of threats that you can enact on people is just, yeah, unbelievable.
However, what we saw post-Me Too is that very many men were able to effectively embark upon a PR exercise of making sure that in some way their PR was rehabilitated.
Do you think things have progressed since the Me Too movement? You know, we talk about it as a kind of colossal moment, but seeing this sort of global mapping of power, are we moving in the right direction in your view?
I think incrementally there was some changes with the Me Too movement, but I also think there was a huge pushback, and perhaps one of the most powerful examples of that is the election of Donald Trump. It shows that when it comes to the public, that's views on morality, particularly violence against women and girls, I think there's still predominantly this sense of male entitlement that it's permissible for men to abuse women, I'm afraid to say, and for men not to be held accountable and certainly not suffer the career consequences that they perhaps should.
And just finally, you know, tens of millions of people were watching when Epstein's survivors used the...
Yeah, Epstein had his own island plane and his own pilot, yes, who he trafficked and bought from her father. I didn't know that she was bought from her father, but I knew that she was with him for a very young age. He also had a private exit. He had basic control over the US Virgin Islands government structure. That's largely what the TrueAnon episode is about. It's really, really, really clear that they had total control over it. And so, like, you know... Do you remember when that story emerged of him texting the US Virgin Islands representative when she was at a deposition interviewing someone related to Trump?
Super Bowl to ask for the truth. Maxwell used her platform for silence. I mean, what message do you think that sends?
I think the fact that Maxwell has used her platform for absolute silence and to attempt to evade justice through her lawyer suggesting that she would only speak if she were granted absolute immunity is just extraordinary. It's not holding her accountable. Who knows if we'll hold anybody else accountable. There's not going to be any meaningful change unless perpetrators are held accountable. No one will have any confidence in the criminal justice system, I think, after this, when we see millions of pages of evidence and 0 arrests.
Charlotte Proudman, thank you very much for joining us.
So...
Thank you.
Yeah, Ghislaine spoke yesterday. It wasn't really very significant. She basically just begged for clemency. But yesterday, we did have something of a significant event, which was a multitude of different members of Congress. I think about at least 4 who I've seen. Massie, Kahana, Jared Moskowitz, and Becca Balint. Becca Balint, by the way, who had a great video. Have a watch of this. This is Dropsite interviewing Becca Balint.
Just wanted to ask you, have you had a chance to review any of the unredacted files over at the DOJ, the Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And I mean, anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties to any intelligence agencies? We've established some in our reporting, but wanted to know based on the file.
I only had about a half hour, so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. Okay. So mostly today I was just trying to go through a couple documents that was particularly interested in finding out.
What were those?
One was related to whether or not Trump, had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed.
What'd you find?
It's not true.
He told Ghislaine to stop the trafficking business over there. Ro Khanna, sorry, apology. I don't know why I was calling him Ro Khanna. He told Ghislaine to stop with the trafficking business. But the main issue is that basically we all know Trump knew. We all know that Trump knew about this, you know? It doesn't take a genius to work this out.
Lie.
It's a lie.
But there's Dropsite talking on this. Jesus Christ. I'm constantly getting spammed with Haviv Rettig Gur tweets. Clear that Israel thinks he's the guy to prop up because, oh my God, I cannot stop hearing from him. But yeah, this wasn't the only person we heard from. We heard from Jared Moskowitz as well, who reviewed it.
After the Justice Department made millions of unredacted records, unredacted about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein available for certain members of Congress to view today. Here's what Representatives Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna said they saw just moments ago. Take a listen.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
Our bigger concern is that there's still a lot that's redacted, even in what we're seeing.
That's one of the most amazing things, that the government have redacted them, and so even lawmakers in America can't view the fully unredacted files.
Here now joining us, Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida. He serves on the House Judiciary Committee. So, Congressman, you got a look at some of these files today. The Epstein Files Transparency Act only allowed the Justice Department to withhold the personal information of the victims, the survivors, and material that would jeopardize active federal investigations. Did the redactions that you saw comply with the law? And tell us what you saw that concerned you.
Well, thanks, Jake. Thanks for having me. First, let me say, obviously, we're all hoping for Savannah's mom's speedy return to her family. So first of all, you go into the Department of Justice today, you go to the 10th...
I am obsessed with this. Stop with these photos of Epstein like this, with his kissy lips. It's odd, and I don't want to see them. And yeah, Trump lied. We're all surprised. Sorry, there was a comment I actually wanted to read. I'm so disgusted by the argument the victim is actually a liar who just wants fame and fortune. Like asking men to attack another man on her behalf is like a form of revenge. No. Me Too proved that all these men can never recover, and that this is all about just smearing, really nice and good men whose careers all ended after that, definitely. I mean, no, it's obviously ridiculous.
Floor of a building. There's nobody who works on that floor. You go into a room with 4 computers. The system that they set up for us to view these documents has a 24-page handbook on how to use it. There's 2.7 million documents that you have to go through. There's no way to go through them unless you know what you're looking for by batch number. Try to match up the redacted document and look for it in an unredacted capacity. But first, let me say that today I saw a worldwide sex trafficking ring with people in other countries sourcing young children for Jeffrey Epstein, co-conspirators' names, men and women. Clearly other people that might be on the client list, that are on text messages and emails. Over-redaction, dramatic over...
Hello, Tony Soprano lover. I noticed Tony said hello. But yeah, I mean, kind of crazy. Moskowitz, by the way, Moskowitz gave the strongest statement out of all of them, really.
Redaction. It looks like intentionally so. And then documents that are still redacted. And when we asked why these were redacted, that's because they were submitted into this electronic system redacted. And the people that were at our disposal to ask those questions did not know why they were still redacted, Jake.
Could you identify any of the names of individuals who are mentioned in the files that concern you? And if you're afraid of doing it with me now because of fear of lawsuit, there is the speech and debate clause of the Constitution. Obviously, you could go to the floor of the House and you could say it and not be sued. Can you tell us anybody?
Well, Jake, we have Pam Bondi coming to the Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday, as you mentioned. It's the first time she's coming to the Judiciary hearing. She's the only cabinet secretary yet to appear in the House on the Committee of Jurisdiction. And I think we're going to give her the opportunity to start naming people. I think that's what Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have talked about. Obviously, these names need to come out. I think the DOJ needs to release an unredacted version of these documents while still keeping the victims' names secure. But there are clearly co-conspirators in here that they can name. Okay, I mean, in the documents I saw, we got pictures and their names. They're talking about sourcing girls.
By the way, a lot of the people now, one of the main things they're talking about here are some of this list. Now, a lot of this list was previously in a redacted form. It is now no longer redacted. So I believe the unredacted are Leslie Wexner, Corinna Shuliak, former girlfriend of Epstein, who is apparently now in Belarus. Everyone knew that this was Wexner. Everyone knew that some of them. Now, this person, no one knows. These two, you can actually work out who these people are. So, the first one, I believe, is Sarah Kellen. You can pretty evidently see this. So, that's the redacted image. That's the photo that it's taken from. It's pretty evidently her. You can literally see she's wearing the same necklace. There's the same white dress in the background. It's her. Sarah Kellen is someone who was basically one of Epstein's lieutenants, one of the top girls. Apparently, she was one of Epstein's pilots said that she was like an assistant to Ghislaine. There were points where she basically took over Ghislaine's role, perhaps even being number 2 to Epstein. She worked for Epstein from the age of 22. She is a co-conspirator. I can appreciate she was young when she met Epstein, but, you know, she spent a long-ass time with him, and there are, like, allegations by a multitude of different girls who have basically said, no, this is who she is. This is who she is. The second unredacted, which I hadn't seen many other people report on as of yet. This one here is someone called Adriana Ross. You can see this is actually a photo of her where Epstein is wearing that famous horrifying jumper. So there's the photo of her. That's the photo there. You can see same shirt, same background, someone with green behind her. You can actually see that specifically. If you zoom in really close, you can see that there. You can see something over here, which is the white crease of this guy's shoulder. So this is Adriana Ross. Adriana Ross is, so Tony Soprano lover put it well, Sarah Kellen, Nadia Marcinkova, Adriana Ross, and Leslie Groff were part of what is called the Core Four. They were essentially Ghislaine's 2.0s. Yes, they were all basically very significant individuals who, you know, organized Epstein's abuse. It's pronounced Adriana. Adriana? Long, not short A sound. Adriana? Adriana or Adriana? What did I say wrong? Marcinkova. Marcinkova, apology. It's insane. For almost a decade, they said this man had no co-conspirators. Well, this is an FBI's own document. Now, this person is yet to be worked out. I think someone may be able to get this, because stupidly enough, most of these photos, like this one here is just a photo of her and Jeffrey Epstein. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Acid Ambiance. Hello, Studio K9, and thank you always for asking for this stuff. Can you link these documents? Yeah, I can. Adriana. Okay, yeah, I thought I said Adriana. I'm not sure which way I pronounced it. My apologies. But both of these people are pretty close to Jeffrey Epstein. You know? They are people who are co-conspirators in his crimes. They are people who, yeah, as has been noted, were basically number twos to Epstein. There's this video we could watch, actually, which is it's called The Epstein Elite, Sarah Kellen. He doesn't have a video about Adriana Ross.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Over the past 45 episodes of this series, I have brought up the name Sarah Kellen a couple of times, but I haven't really gone in depth on Sarah Kellen. And the whole Ghislaine Department of Justice interview thing is just sticking with me. And in Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, a name kept popping up over and over again. It was another woman who witnesses said played an instrumental role in facilitating Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of these teenagers. Sarah Kellen.
So this is why it feels like even the defense of like this needs to remain redacted because she's potentially like a Epstein victim. She's mentioned massively. And I know you love Becca Day. We'll watch this one. I don't know. Does she have a video about Adriana Ross?
Below Ghislaine in the chain of command was Sarah Kellen, another high-ranking employee who has been accused in multiple lawsuits of scheduling girls for sex sessions with Epstein in his Palm Beach mansion. She was called the lieutenant in one lawsuit. David Rogers, Mr. Epstein's pilot, said in a deposition that Kellen was like an assistant to Ghislaine. Sarah Kellen kept the names and numbers of all the girls who gave Epstein massages. That's according to the Palm Beach police reports. And Haley Robson's deposition, she's the one who went by Carolyn in the trial. She would call them whenever Epstein was in town, asking the girls if they were ready to work. She saw herself as the boss. That's according to...
Like, why this is redacted when this is information that's available on the internet is still unbelievable.
Spencer Kuvin, a West Palm Beach lawyer who represented several accusers in lawsuits. Sarah was really running that organization, bringing girls and getting them in and out of the Palm Beach home. Because think about this. If we want to believe anything that Ghislaine Maxwell said in her interview, she was basically out of Epstein's life at this point. No, she was still managing houses and still doing real estate and stuff. But when we're talking about when he got arrested, that time frame, she was already on to the Gateway Computers guy. She saw herself as the boss. And Kellen goes by the name Sarah Kensington, Sarah Vickers. And multiple girls told Palm Beach detectives that when they arrived at Epstein's mansion, Sarah Kellen would escort them upstairs to Epstein's bedroom, lay out the massage table with the oils and lotions that they were to use on him.
The FBI, no, they redacted on the basis of I think it was done mostly by AI, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of it was done by AI. And okay, no worries then. We'll just watch this one because this guy has videos about the Core 4. But I think Adriana seems to be not mentioned as much. I feel like Sarah Kellen is the more significant individual in terms of seemingly from the reporting that I've seen. Though Adriana Ross is mentioned in a lot from years ago. So this notion that her name needs to be protected is ridiculous. And it's kind of portraying someone who was a co-conspirator who needs to be held to some kind of account as a victim of Epstein, you know. And she was also married to a NASCAR driver, so that needs to be looked into. Also, what's the meaning of the bank account called Baal? I could at least understand overzealous redactions in the name of protection if they hadn't clearly failed to investigate this properly for decades. Yeah, exactly. It's also crazy how, you know, you had all of these biggest people who were like saying anything and everything they could about any conspiracy theory they wanted, like fucking Kash Patel, all of these people, and then they get to power and Kash Patel's like, there are no co-conspirators, no one needs to be prosecuted.
Sarah Ransom said that Sarah Kellen and Ghislaine gave her tips on how to give Epstein massages, including how to rub his feet. Kellen, multiple witnesses said during the trial, played a similar role as Maxwell in Epstein's trafficking scheme. Starting in 2002, she worked in Epstein's office building on Manhattan's Upper East Side. One of Epstein's private pilots said she worked as a personal assistant. She scheduled flights on Epstein's private jets, arranged for his victims to be on them. She also arranged these massages up to 3 a day. And Sarah Kellen has also been accused of taking photos of these girls to give to Epstein. And her name came up again during the hearing when the judge sentenced Maxwell. Because in discussing the scope of Maxwell's role in Epstein's trafficking scheme, Nathan, that's the judge, Alison Nathan, identified Kellen as a knowing participant in the criminal conspiracy and said she was a criminally responsible participant.
So why is this still redacted? I don't know. I think that this is still really shocking. And I see Baal is a demon, and I saw what you sent, Tara. That's crazy.
Tell me how she did anything different than Ghislaine. The judge said the defendant was Epstein's number 2, and the lady of the house. At some point, Kellen took over some of the defendant's duties. But even after that time, the defendant Maxwell retained her leadership position. She is getting divorced from her race car driver husband, Brian Vickers. We can talk.
What even is specific about NASCAR? I know it's just like a kind of racing, like NASCAR. What is it? Like what do they do? Do they just drive around a track and like smash into each other?
About them and the things in the penthouse in Miami and how they afford the penthouse in Soho and all the neighbors that.
Is one of you a fan of NASCAR? What is the special thing about NASCAR? What's her connection to Israel? I don't think she has any specific connection to Israel. Kellen is married to a NASCAR driver. Yes. Did I say otherwise? Sorry if I did.
Hate them. It's not clear why prosecutors have not brought criminal charges against Kellen. Because the same arguments that you could make to convict Ghislaine Maxwell, you can make against Sarah Kellen. They didn't call her as a witness in Maxwell's trial. But the New York Times reported back in 2019 that prosecutors were considering charges against her. In an interview with The Sun in 2020, Kellen described herself as a victim of Epstein and that she was sexually assaulted weekly. But I don't think so. When you look at her role, she was doing things like calling victims, arranging for the massage appointments.
I think that definitely, it feels as if having this, that is categorically Sarah Kellen, up here. That's the Sarah Kellen image. The fact that this is just still up as redacted, as if we couldn't know who this is insane. It's insane. Askar, yeah. I mean, it's never going to interest me. But people raise hell, praise Dale, where she does some background on Awful Women. I think she gets into the connections better in this video. Okay, cool. Thank you.
And as the scheme shifted, right, what they did was they brought in people below. So it was Ghislaine and Epstein. And then all of a sudden you bring in somebody else. It's kind of like the mafia, right? You have somebody one step lower. And you got Sarah Kellen there. And Sarah Kellen took on these tasks that were then delegated to a lower member of the conspiracy. And Sarah Kellen was named in the infamous non-prosecution agreement that Epstein made with federal prosecutors in Florida in 2007. As part of the agreement, prosecutors also agreed not to pursue charges against Kellen. A compensation fund, the one that was established after Epstein died in jail, also refused to carve out Kellen from its release form. So it protects her from civil litigation from any of the accusers who took money from the program. So it says, hey, if you want money, you're not allowed to sue Sarah Kellen. Well, why would you have to?
That's unbelievable.
To carve her name out? Because they know she's guilty. I mean, the Palm Beach Police Department, they wanted to arrest Sarah Kellen. And Detective Reed Carey had this to say on the affidavit. So October 3rd and October 4th, 2005, Detective Reed Carey began interviewing witnesses and victims to obtain sworn statements based on the information provided by the initial witness and evidence obtained from March of 2005.
Like, I feel like if you're trying to protect victims, this person has to be mentioned if so many of them are calling her out and saying and highlighting the role she played.
Through September of 2005, surveillance, controlled calls, trash pulls, etc. On October 4th, 2005, knowledge of the Palm Beach Police Department's investigation became known to Epstein after his assistant, Sarah Kellen, was informed in the investigation through an identified witness. And said it should be noted that the Palm Beach Police Department also requested arrest warrants for Epstein's assistant, Kellen and Robson, who recruited several of the victims' witnesses for Epstein, but the warrants were not pursued. Regarding Kellen, the assistant state attorney said, I don't feel that there was sufficient evidence as to her because there's no indication she could actually say what was going on up in the bedroom or that she had conversations with any of the victims or witnesses about knowing what was going on. Just that she was in the house when the girls would come into the home and sometimes, introduce them, take them upstairs. But no knowledge of what was actually going on in the bedroom. That's BS. Courtney Wild said it's Kellen. She remembers most vividly from the day she first walked through Epstein's door in Palm Beach in 2002.
Really? Was her husband revealed to be friendly with him? I didn't know that. So her husband is called Vickers. Brian Vickers.
She was in middle school. And to her, Kellen's friendliness made the situation seem normal. You're a young girl, you go to a mansion, and Sarah Kellen, she's a beautiful woman too. She's very nice, escorts me upstairs. It's weird, but I just kind of went with the flow of what everybody else was doing. And in 2008, Wild sued the federal government for violating the rights of Epstein's victims by striking his non-prosecution agreement without their knowledge. And once she was recruited, Wild said she was told she had another option. You don't have to be with Epstein, just go recruit others. And she wasn't alone. During a raid on Epstein's house, police found phone logs signed by Kellen with the names of teenagers who had called for confirmation of work. Epstein essentially was running an enterprise at Royal Palm Beach High School. That's what happened. And Kellen visited Epstein during and after his first incarceration.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a complex situation because understanding, abuse is complex in situations, there is complexity to it. Yet simultaneously, it feels really hard because she and her husband maintained relationships with Epstein, seemingly. Here's Brian Vickers emailing him. This is from, I don't know which Epstein email account this is from, but he says, Brian, sorry, this email is for business use. Understood, all the best. I'll save this for later, winky face, lol. What on earth do you think that could be in relation to? And he sent him some kind of download attachment. Happy Valentine's, buddy. Brian Vickers in 2019. Oh.
Multiple times, according to prison records, but she considers herself one of Epstein's victims, too. She was born into a strict family of Jehovah's Witnesses. She started working for Epstein when she was 22, after divorcing her first husband and becoming estranged from her parents and community. Her spokesperson said when Sarah was targeted by Epstein and Maxwell, she, like many other victims, was struggling financially and emotionally. Soon after Sarah was brought into Epstein's world, he began to abuse her, abuse that endured for years. And Callen's representative said Callen did schedule appointments and massages for Epstein and Maxwell, but she never recruited young girls for them. Wild said, look, how can Sarah Callen be a victim? How could you do this? She was over the age of 21. So I feel like she was in a state of mind to make good and bad decisions, and she repeatedly made the wrong decision. I would agree. And I agree that she should be prosecuted. Okay, you guys, that's it for this one.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think if you're out of it and you have a new husband, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. It is tough. Hold on. There's a TikTok I've been requested to watch on the Core 4 by Becca Day, so we're going to have a look at that as well. We're going to have a look. But yeah, I don't know, it's a tough situation, and I don't want to speak as, like, a major authority on abuse. But, like, still...
Let's talk about the...
Still, I don't know. I don't know. Wait, why is this message not sent through, motherfucker? What have I done wrong here? I'm struggling to... Hold on. I'll get this up. Give me a second. Well, you didn't wake up this morning because you didn't go to bed. You were watching...
Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions like this, and I have done quite a few videos about the Core 4, but just so you don't have to dig for it, I'm going to give you a Cliff Notes speedrun version of who the Core 4 are within Jeffrey's network. So the Core 4 is made up of 4 women. Leslie Groff.
It's also kind of crazy that Becca Day literally just has the same photo of Adriana Ross that's in the files.
Sarah Callen, Nadia Marcinkova, and Adriana Ross were all either hired to work for Jeffrey or they were lured into Jeffrey's ring as victims and then later would become perpetrators themselves. And all of these women worked for Jeffrey anywhere from 8 to 20 years. So let's start with Adriana Ross. Adriana Ross was one of the girls who was lured into Jeffrey's ring as a victim and then later became a perpetrator. But before she was lured into Jeffrey's ring, she was a model modeling for the company ID Models, which was owned by Paolo Zampoli, who is the modeling agent who discovered Melania and brought her to the United States for Donald Trump. He is currently working in our administration and is a board member at the Kennedy Center.
Unbelievable. Jeffrey Epstein's reach and his associates' reach is, yeah, it's quite something.
I've dove extensively into Paolo Zampoli. You can check my playlist to learn more about him. So she modeled for Paolo through her teenage years, and by 19 she began working for Jeffrey. When I say working for Jeffrey, these girls were Ghislaine's proteges. Okay, they were doing the job that Ghislaine was doing. Finding the girls, recruiting the girls, paying the girls, scheduling the girls, engaging with the girls, threatening the girls into silence, etc., etc. Then we have Sarah Callen. She was more than a protege of Ghislaine. She was like a carbon copy of Ghislaine. Sarah Callen met Jeffrey through Ghislaine as Ghislaine hired Sarah Callen to help her lure in girls into Jeffrey's ring when she was 22 years old and had just been outcast from the Jehovah's Witness community. Sarah Callen would go on to marry NASCAR driver Brian Vickers back in 2006, and they divorced within the last year. In present day, Sarah Callen uses the alias Sarah Kensington. If you read through some of what the victims have said about Sarah Callen, it is very clear how truly evil and just like Ghislaine this woman was. Nadia Marcinkova's origins.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like Becca Day speaks a lot more frankly than I was willing to. I mean, yeah, you guys are right. I think if you're 21 years old and you spend your life basically working to... I could probably ask Becca Day if she'd come on the stream. Maybe I should do that and ask to have her on. I don't know if she'd be interested in doing that. She has her own very big TikTok, but she follows me, so maybe I should have her on. But she's talking, like, yeah, she speaks a lot more frankly than I do. I think that there's a major point to be made there about what she's saying of, like, you know, you're 21 years old, but you're 21 years old, and you continually make this choice, and victims name you over and over again as the protege of Ghislaine. Like, one could make the argument Ghislaine's father was Robert Maxwell, who was a horrible individual from all accounts, and so Ghislaine is not at fault, but yeah.
Story is a little unclear, but we do know that she came into Jeffrey's ring around the age of 15 or 16 years old. The official story is that Nadia was sold to Jeffrey by her Slovakian parents at the age of 15, but Nadia's father has denied that. But either way, Nadia was a young teenager whenever she was lured into Jeffrey's ring, and after being a victim of Jeffrey and his friends, she would unfortunately go on to become a perpetrator and would begin recruiting for Jeffrey and luring other girls in and training them on what they're supposed to do with these older men. She, like many of the other members of the Core Four, would often engage in physical activities with these young girls per the request of Jeffrey and his friends. Jeffrey helped Nadia get her piloting license, and Nadia would eventually become the person who was transporting and flying victims to and from Jeffrey's properties, sometimes internationally. Jeffrey also helped Nadia open her own aviation marketing business out of the East 66th Street apartment.
She's wearing the SpaceX t-shirt.
Building that were owned by Mark, Jeffrey's brother, where Jeffrey often housed different models and victims. And I'm going to show you guys a clip from Nadia's old YouTube channel she used to advertise her company.
Welcome.
We saw this the other day, so we can skip through.
Today's deal. This is your captain speaking.
Groff's name.
Clearly, you're attractive. And Top Gun?
Lastly, we have Leslie Groff. Leslie Groff's name was dropped by one of the victims.
So I'm interested to see what she has to say about Leslie Groff, because I don't know as much about Leslie Groff, but, you know, you read the files, she seems like Epstein's #1, like, organizer of his day.
At the press conference a couple of months ago now, and Leslie Groff comes up all of the time in the files. She was Jeffrey's longest standing employee. Leslie Groff is the pregnant woman in the photos that Jeffrey had in his closet. The most recent release of files, that photo is fully redacted. I'm not sure why. Leslie Groff was a perpetrator, and throughout much of the time that—
Yeah, once again, like, I can't believe that we've literally just got redacted photos of these people when someone with base level knowledge could do this. I can't even remember how I pulled up the image of Adriana, because she says it Adriana. Was like, I don't know which way I'm saying it. I'm gonna go for Adriana. I'm gonna pronounce it how I want. If the syndrome isn't from Sweden, then it's merely a kidnapping complex. I don't think it's real. And you're saying that Nadia has actually been spotted and that she's not missing. Okay.
Leslie Groff was working for Jeffrey, she was a married mother. Leslie Groff has gone on the record talking about what an amazing boss Jeffrey is, how kind of him it was to give her a nice long maternity leave. The concept of actively raising your own children while simultaneously getting paid to lure other people's children into your boss's bed is insane! It's sickening. All 4 of these women were protected by the non-prosecution agreement, as it protected all named and unnamed co-conspirators. When they were deposed for a lawsuit back in 2010, every single one of them pled the fifth. So the topic of the court—
She said Adriana, though. Adriana.
Is very nuanced. While yes, some of these women did begin as victims, and that never should have happened to them, they never should have been lured into this network in the first place, it doesn't take away or absolve them from the harm that they inflicted onto other little girls and teenagers and young women. I will try to link some of my other videos that I've done about the Core Four so you can get more details, because this was just a very, very like Cliff Notes version, but that is basically Core Four, so hopefully that helps. Okay.
No stress, Anna. I completely understand. Have a good rest of the day.
Okay, I was just...
Could be nothing, but could be something. She kind of seems to do like reporting, which is basically in part like helped by a massive community, right, of people helping her, and is also just very good at making videos.
Go through.
Maybe, yeah, I'd love to have her on. Check out the new Becca Day video. People have spotted Nadia, and she made a video yesterday on it. Oh, I saw it on, I saw it on, this is the photo apparently of her at a Zen Buddhist ranch. Someone called Amber Woods spotted it, and they posted this on September the 11th. So she's probably just in hiding in some kind of way. Yeah. About Nadia, and she made a video. Okay, cool, but yeah. Potato patty. I was reading that out as if it was some spelling of potato. But yeah, I mean, so this was one of the major things that was released yesterday. However, one of the other major things that was released yesterday, I'm going to take this photo off, actually. I'm going to take this photo off, and we'll maybe go back to that, and I'll close this. One of the other major things that was released yesterday was to do with Sulayem. Ahmed bin Sulayem, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. Now, Thomas Massie, of the things he confirmed, because people really wanted to know whether this was Netanyahu doing this or not, he said the three biggest things. He said unredacted an FBI file that labels 2 individuals as co-conspirators, unredacted a file that lists several men who might be implicated, tacitly admitted that Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem was the sender of the torture video. Now, this torture video story is interesting because it is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So how he got them to admit it is basically here. He said a sultan seems to have sent this. Did you remember the one that says, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. I am in China. I will be in the US second week of May." Now, this probably could well be Sulayem. Sulayem was probably everywhere, but here's what Todd Blanche said. "You looked at the document. You know it's an email address that was redacted. The law requires redactions for personally identifiable information, including if an email address, and you know that the Sultan's name is available unredacted in the files. See EFTA 0066117. Be honest and stop grandstanding." So, yeah, it's seemingly confirmed by Todd Blanche as well, and I don't doubt that this could be the case. And one of the other reasons that this could quite easily be the case is, so on April 24th, 2009, Epstein receives an email. Cohen Jeffrey sends an email to Andrew L. Farkas saying, "Better stay out of the UAE for a while." This was reportedly related to a soured business transaction. Andrew Farkas proceeds to send a message to Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Uh-oh, this is at 2:03, and at 9:28 is when the first email is sent." Hold on, actually, I want to have a look at something. Let's have a look at when this ABC News. ABC News UAE torture video. So Epstein is seemingly clued into this thing to do with the torture video existing, and then on the exact same day is when Epstein says that he loves the torture video. So, kinda odd. There's definitely an odd aspect that on the same day, Jeffrey Epstein says, "I love the torture video." And the unknown person says, "I am in China. I will be in the US second week of May." Now, obviously, a lot of people probably were hoping and thinking that this was Netanyahu, yet it seemingly was not Netanyahu. It was seemingly actually Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. Now, we've covered Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem before. He's a very repugnant guy. He's the CEO of Dubai Port World. That matters a lot because Dubai Port World is majorly important to the Emirates, spreading its influence over the MENA region. He is a repugnant individual with, once again, this unbelievable image that doesn't look real. His head looks like a swelling tennis ball. I can't even begin to describe it. It is actually unbelievable what his head is looking like in this situation. But the video in question is... Some of it is available online. I'm obviously not going to show it. I think some of it's even on fucking YouTube. And it's really, really, really horrifying. So the video is a guy called Mohammed Shah Poor, who is an Afghan grain merchant living inside the UAE. He is... This is awful. So one of the sons... Well, I mean, have Emiratis reacted to their leaders? What reaction do you think that an Emirati could have? The Emirates is not a democracy. It's an incredibly brutal place. So the guy who did the torture in the video is Sheikh Issa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. So he is a direct descendant, but he's not a daughter of a son of Fatima. So the Bani Fatima are the most powerful in the UAE. So they're all daughters or sons of... Obviously, a daughter's not going to be as powerful as a male. But anyone who is a son of Fatima bint Mubarak al-Katbi, who is the third wife of Sheikh Zayed bin Nahyan al-Nahyan, who was like major figure in the UAE, are the most powerful in the UAE. So Issa is a son of Nahyan. He's a son of... he's a son of Zayed, excuse me. So that's what bin Zayed means. So he's a son of their... He's a son of... Sorry, I'm just going to check this. I'll show you. So he's a son... This is his descent. His mother is Sheikh Amna bint Salah al-Badi, and his father is Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, but the most powerful are called the Bani Fatma. To know if I find what? I know that UAE surveillance states heavily suppresses criticism, but I thought there would at least be rumblings of outrage online. No. Emirati discourse, you're not allowed online. It is illegal to disparage the UAE. The government there, like Maktoum and stuff, pushed laws that were like, if you speak out against the UAE online and use its name for social media clicks, you may go to prison. This guy, Issa Zayed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, didn't go to prison at all for torturing someone. There were videos, and the guy who accused him of it, Bassem Nablusi, who's an American businessman who smuggled it out to the US, said that there are 25 people being tortured. So likely what Epstein was sent was probably the one that was caused all this controversy. Now, without going into detail for fear of this being demonetized, which, by the way, guys, this is probably going to be demonetized anyway, the video includes, at its most basic, things like sexual abuse. It includes someone having their legs run over. It includes part of the video where you can see him being shot, but they don't shoot him. They shoot the sand around him whilst he's blindfolded. It includes beatings. It includes heinous stuff. This was sent to Jeffrey Epstein, and he enjoyed it. This is the torture that Jeffrey Epstein is talking about, if I was to hazard a guess. That most likely, because if you look at the days in which Jeffrey Epstein was sent it, once again, remember that Jeffrey Epstein is sent this message by Farkas on the same day. Maybe the timing is wrong here, because this is allegedly where it goes to Epstein at 2 p.m. But Epstein has seemingly seen it and enjoyed it already. And him and Sulayem were very, very, very good friends. Because, yeah, Epstein sends his message at 11:36. I loved the torture video. Maybe he hasn't even sent it by Sulayem, but he's telling Sulayem that he is enjoying this video. This article details all of the stuff that he's doing. It really is awful. And this guy fully got off. And they said the reason that it happened was because Sheikh Zayed died. And that's the reason that he started misbehaving. And apparently there was no truth in the allegations against this guy. There are also Sudanese people involved, I think. Hold on. Yeah, apparently the videos are just him, like, torturing Sudanese people. Epstein may have been being fed that. He may have been sent the full video by Sulayem. He may have just seen it online. It's not really 100% clear as to what this is, but I will say seemingly Sulayem sent it to him, if I was to hazard a guess. Who is the guy in the video? The guy doing it is this guy. So he's an Emirati prince, but not the most powerful princes because he's not a member of Bani Fatima. And also, by the way, I don't even think that this is like state sanctioned. This is just some guy engaging in sadistic torture of as many people as he can get his hands on because of the power rather than, you know, someone who's gone against the state, really. And he taped it all, and he may have given them out to Epstein because no doubt these tapes were... Yeah. And apparently, as well... Oh, sorry, I fucked up there. Particularly damaging was the apparent involvement of a policeman in the torture and the impunity with which Sheikh Issa could act. Even after the tape had merged, he is a senior prince related to powerful members of the ruling family. He's effectively the half-brother of the most powerful man in the United Arab Emirates. So, sure, he's... The Bani Fatima is the most powerful thing in the UAE. So anyone who's here... So Mohammed bin Zayed, Hamdan bin Zayed, Hazza bin Zayed, Sheikh Tahnoon, Sheikh Mansour, owner of Manchester City. Mohammed bin Zayed is obviously the ruler, the crown prince. Hamdan is prime minister? Am I wrong about that? President of the UAE. Bin Sultan. No. What's Hamdan's role? Excuse me. Hamdan is the younger brother and the current president. UAE President Khalifa bin Zayed and the current president... Oh, sorry, yeah. So, he's the younger brother, Hamdan. And Abdullah bin Zayed? This is... Wait, what's Abdullah bin Zayed's relationship? Bin Zayed Al Nahyan. I don't know what Abdullah bin Zayed's relationship is. He is the 9th son of the UAE. Who's his mother, though? Where's his descendancy? So he is. I don't know if I'm just not seeing him for some reason. Tahnoon, Hazza, Hamdan. I don't know why I can't see him on the list. I don't know. I thought he was. But yeah, these are the most powerful people in the UAE. And Jeffrey Epstein was seemingly enjoying a video. And the horror really, really doesn't end there. Because Julie K. Brown, who is an excellent journalist on the Epstein shit, says, I know of 2 survivors who say they were trafficked by Epstein to this sultan. These 2 survivors don't know each other, but their stories are similar. They will not go public because they are afraid. Look at the top comment. They keep saying they will go public, but they never do. And then the second one, probably a bot account, by the way, Highbrow Hayes Investor with a dog fucking profile picture. Well, the guy doing the trafficking is dead. How old were the girls at the time of the alleged trafficking? It's like, what? You're talking about one of the most powerful countries with a far-reaching surveillance state that have used Pegasus spyware to use this spyware on wife. Like, you're talking about a country where the ruler of Dubai, the Maktoum, used Pegasus spyware to spy on his ex-wife, and these people respond, actually, they're lying? And it's like, oh, come on. A country only gaining in more powerfulness, expanding its surveillance state, apparently is some kind of thing that we should just be like, who gives a shit, you know, doesn't matter, let's ignore it, and they're all lying, they're all just hiding, when Julie K. Brown is like, no, actually, I know 2 independent accusers and survivors of Epstein who say, actually, he did do these things. This guy, by the way, as well as Dropsite have reported, Dropsite News UAE. This guy is the key node for actually something really significant for power in the Middle East. Epstein nurtured Israel-Emirates ties before Abraham Accords. Do you think that these people pay for Twitter Blue to have a bot farm that gets engagement themselves? Or do you think Epstein is handing out Twitter Blue to, you know, random accounts that are bots to bolster his own numbers? Stingray spyware. Jesus Christ, I didn't know New Zealand used that. Hold on. I just wanted to pull this up. So what he would do to facilitate relationships between Israel and the UAE, the correspondences in Epstein's Yahoo accounts contain several gaps where messages appear to have been deleted in bulk, including a significant window from 2008 during his first stint in Palm Beach prison. But after Epstein's return to public life in 2010, when did I mean Elon? When did I mean Elon? What did I say wrong? Oh, sorry, yeah, I know where I said it wrong. Yeah. I don't think Epstein is giving people free accounts. I think Epstein is, unfortunately for his victims, dead, but for the world is dead without the unfortunately. Because I think we just needed, you know, you need some kind of more justice. And it's pretty significant. Why don't phone companies combat Pegasus virus? Look, I don't know enough about how Pegasus works, but it's an incredibly powerful and invasive spyware that's really difficult to get rid of. Yeah. Yeah, I know about the Noah Colwyn article. I didn't actually read it today, which was stupid. I'm sorry. I'm really tired. But yeah, on several occasions in the mid-2010s, Epstein arranged meetings between Barack and Sulayem, pitching them as an opportunity for Barack to get closer to the ruler of Dubai and promote Israeli diplomatic interests abroad. I think you should meet, sorry, just Epstein being an idiot. Epstein wrote to Barack. He is the right-hand man of Maktoum. By the way, as well, one of the funny things is, one might make the argument that Epstein was just, inflating the position of all of this stuff. But actually, the thing is that Epstein was much more, just speaking frankly, this guy is really powerful. He's the CEO of Dubai Port World. Like, this is a major company, and they played a role in brokering the Abraham Accords. The Abraham Accords ended up being, like, not very significant in the sense of, like, already they'd worked to normalize relations between the two countries, and they did it privately, and ultimately, as much as Emiratis can't speak out, it's really hard to change the actual relationship because most people there aren't gonna love Israel. But in terms of, like, investment stuff, it's pretty significant. And Epstein fucking did that with this Sulayem guy. And by the way, here's another one of all those people who respond to Julie K. Brown. Actually, no. Oh my... Ooh, and there's more to add to this story as well that has just come out from Ro Khanna. But we'll just have a look at this. This is Sultan bin Sulayem to Epstein. By the way, the Ukrainian and the Moldovan arrived. Big disappointment. The Moldavian is not as attractive as the picture, while the Ukrainian is very beautiful. Epstein said, Photoshop. Also, it would be one word, Epstein, you idiot. And then Jeffrey Epstein was sent a message by bin Sulayem saying, not only that, she was too short and skinny. So these are just sex-trafficked women going out to bin Sulayem. You know.
The Department of Justice.
But Ro Khanna has apparently just named Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem as a co-conspirator of Epstein.
Congressman Massie and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massie and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner.
Gee, so he's a by the way, I just want to go through the names. So Nicola Caputo is a former member of the European Parliament. Wow. Then we have Salvatore Nuara. Who is Salvatore Nuara? Apparently Salvatore Nuara is a member of the NYPD. I don't know. I can't confirm that. Leonid Leonov. Once again, not really clear who Leonid Leonov is. But yeah, I mean, Sulayem being added in is, yeah, it's unsurprising. 2011, all Seagate hard drives have been rootless. I mean, that's interesting. It doesn't surprise me. I guess that's yeah. I guess it doesn't surprise me that that's plausible. That these companies don't really give a shit if you get spied on.
Yesterday, Speaker.
Okay, wait. Kana's speech is actually longer.
Yesterday, Congressman Massie and I went to the Department of
I feel like Les Wexner and Sulayem have been known for a long time.
Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned, acknowledged their mistake. Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massie and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files.
By the way, can you believe ContraPoint's take on this? Can you believe that ContraPoint's take on this was that, no, Epstein didn't... I actually have to pull it up again. I genuinely have to pull this take up again. This ContraPoints, this lady is genuinely unbelievable. Once again, I will never stop reading this. People are really not familiar with the basic facts of the Epstein case. All the victims who testified at Maxwell's trial said they were trafficked to Epstein himself, who abused them with Maxwell's assistance. I do not think Julie K. Brown was a hack. By the way, Julie K. Brown is like someone who Epstein himself spoke about talking to Alan Dershowitz, or someone called Alan, seemingly Alan Dershowitz, and basically probably following a legal route to deal with her and to stop her speaking out against him. Like, it's very obvious that this is not the case, and anyone with a basic level of literacy, sure, have the take like, oh, I don't believe in like all of the things about everything that Epstein may have done. Okay, fine. But like this is insane. Like, this is just so illiterate. And this, by the way, was in 2025. This is the most illiterate tweet imaginable. Genuinely. Like, ContraPoints, this lady is... makes these highly produced videos where she's in the bath. She meets up with very, very rich politicians and powerful people, and she likes that. And that's okay for her, and that's why she won't speak out about all of this stuff, you know? She doesn't want to speak out because her friends are involved in this. And yeah, I think that this whole Sulayem story, I'd highly recommend that you get into other stuff and you look into this. I mean, he's the guy who's with Epstein and the Kiswa, but he's the one who sent this torture video. He was accused of having women trafficked to him. And we'll just see what Kana says on this.
But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March, long before Thomas Massie and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act.
Thank you, Mr.
Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massie, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what?
John, this is what keeping the watch for Charlie looks like, by the way.
The FBI sent scrub.
See you in Valhalla, Charlie. All the Epstein files will be taken there with us.
Files. That means the survivor's statement to the FBI naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped and abused underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded, they're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote-unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI. And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting?
Kind of an indication of right-wing politics, right? Kash Patel pretended his entire life to care about getting, well, not his entire life, but he made his career around pretending to care about, like, you know, getting justice around Epstein, and he made himself an Epstein truther. And then when he found out what was actually going on in them for himself, all of a sudden he didn't give a shit. When he got all the money he needed, when he knew what was happening there, when he set himself up for life by keeping hush-hush and behaving like Trump's little errand boy, that's perfect. Life's good for him.
Why are they protecting these rich and powerful men, people I call part of the Epstein class? Why are we in a country where there is no elite accountability for people who do the most heinous things? You have in England the king now calling for an investigation and possible prosecution of his own brother. You have in Norway the princess who no longer has support to be the queen. And yet in the United States of America, we have someone in the cabinet, Howard Lutnick, who is all over these Epstein files, who allegedly had business with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia, and he still is in the cabinet. We need to ask ourselves, are we in America going to have elite accountability? Are we going to call on rich and powerful people who broke the law or cavorted with a pedophile, a convicted pedophile? Are we going to call them to account? Are we going to have prosecutions for billionaires who went to this island and either raped underage girls or saw underage girls being raped and didn't say anything? Are we going to have investigations? I'll tell you what this is about. It's not just about the 1,200 survivors. It's about 2 tiers of justice in America. It's about people who can accumulate wealth and power and don't have to care about the rest of America. They have destroyed so much of this country. Income inequality is at a 60-year high. Workers' salaries are...
Brother, you're part of the problem here, my guy. You're a Democrat and your BFF is a Republican. Like, I'm happy what you're doing and I think it's good and thank you for doing a bit of this stuff. Like, it's great and thank you for trying with this stuff, but like, come on, man. Yeah, the mod is going to be demonetized for sure. Bit unfortunate of covering this, but what can you do?
Less than they have been for 75 years as a part of GDP. Somehow this country seems to be working for the rich and powerful, but it's not working for ordinary working class Americans. I say enough. It's time to begin with accountability for the Epstein class. Hold them in front of Congress, those people who visited the island or did business with Epstein after he was a convicted pedophile. Investigate them, prosecute them, and let's return to democratic accountability in the United States of America. Let's return to one system of justice in the United States of America. Let's return to a place where every American has a stake in this country.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. By the way, I'm seeing someone else reporting, Adam Cochran, who's not always great. By the way, have any of you seen the alleged email where Trump's talking about, where they're talking about dementia in Trump from Epstein? But this is just a quick summary. It is utterly ridiculous. Hold on, I'll stop recording. Remember, y'all, this is the bare minimum. Yeah, exactly, 100%. But here's an apparent breakdown. Salvatore Nuara was a New York detective, so sounds like we know how he avoided the police for so long. Mikhaladze, Leonov, Nicola Caputo were influential across Europe, Georgia, Russia, and Italy. Sulayem was also a shipping magnate who had ports in each of those areas, among others. In my upcoming book, I put forward that had been using Sulayem ports to smuggle as far. Yeah. By the way, some people reckon that it has stuff to do with the Contra affair as well. It's certainly significant news. Let's put it that way. Certainly significant news. And I'm glad that they are doing this, but you are unfortunately right, Trevor, Tales, Trevor, that it's basically a... you know, bare minimum that can be done. So hold on, I want to pull up a video of... So obviously one of the person who's been involved is Lutnick, and here he is giggling about the Epstein files.
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I...
Crazy, this guy sat here and laughed. Sat here and just laughed about the Epstein files. And we all know he's in it, but he was a... Why is it so hard to find videos of his deposition? I've searched his name, so I'm now going to have to search Howard Lutnick. Why is it so hard to find videos of his deposition? Was not a deposition, right? But him in front of... What the fuck? I've searched his name on a day where you would think that this was...
Nick.
Where you would think that this was a day where, you know, you were going to see way more of this. But, yeah, here's Lutnick admitting what he did to some extent.
I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's...
Oh, sorry.
Your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there.
By the way, why do you need nannies on a family vacation? I know some people do it, but it feels so odd to me. Isn't it really? It runs contra to the logic of a nannies plural to a family vacation.
As well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said...
What was the point in lying? Like, realistically, why? Why lie? Why did you lie? You knew this was going to come out. What, did you think you could pay enough for Trump to redact you? Is that it? Is that it?
Butnick, I think you...
What is it? What is it? What was the reason you did this? And why would you take, once again, why would you take your 4 kids to be anywhere near someone who had convictions for untoward behavior towards minors? That feels really inappropriate, right? What if even he didn't do anything to them, but like told them, hey, if you've got any friends, I don't know, you'd probably think about these things if you were in any way a responsible parent. But I think what actually one does have to say there is these people are irresponsible parents who don't give a shit about their kids. And then we have more of Lutnick.
Questions I have before we close. One is just to follow up on one of your responses with respect to the Epstein files, specifically the visit you and your family took to Epstein's private island in 2012, and I think you also said you went on his yacht. Is that right? Or boat? No.
No.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
At that time, I think you mentioned that you were accompanied by your wife and kids and nannies. My question is, do you know whether the nanny that you had on that trip was the same nanny that Jeffrey Epstein expressed interest in meeting?
No, I have no idea about that whole thing. I mean, I don't recall it having anything to do with me, and I don't know that.
It's just, you know, this guy was a convicted sex offender, and obviously not a great place for kids and nannies. Was Ghislaine Maxwell on the island at that time?
No.
No, it's all okay, guys. Ghislaine wasn't there. Ghislaine wasn't there. I don't know. I just find that is so irresponsible. And I don't know, like, as I said to you guys, I didn't see anyone's response and I apologize for it. Like, why do you ever think that it would be a good idea to deny this? Why? Why would it be the best idea to just lie and lie and lie and lie again about all of this? Why? Like, you knew it's coming out. I get lying now where it's like, okay, the government is saying no more's coming out. You kind of feel like you're safe. But you knew that something was going to come out. Did Trump tell them? No, don't worry, nothing is going to come out. Is that what happened? Like, how does it work? How do you think that you are going to get away with this, you know? Like, how do you actually think that no one is going to know? That no one is going to hold you to account?
I might.
It's also like...
Last a close...
I get, like, look, I've been alive 25 years. I don't really remember 20 years ago, but I was fucking 5 then. These people who are like, yeah, you know, I don't remember 10, 14 years ago... I feel like I remember things, and especially if I was going to someone's fucking private island, I would remember. Yeah, no, I know deny, and it'll blow over, but when you know it's coming out, why not be like, yeah, I think I met him a couple of times.
Last, a closing comment, if I might, Mr. Secretary. Senator Van Hollen asked about your engagements with your former neighbor, Mr. Epstein. I was encouraged to see your declaration that in 2005, you concluded he was a disgusting man with whom you should have no contact. I wish many others reached that conclusion upon meeting him. But it troubles me that you took your family to lunch on his island, that you had appointments with him. Please disclose everything. Put this to rest, because this is an issue of grave concern to my constituents. President Trump ran on releasing the Epstein files. You said casually, well, I looked at my name and how it appeared in them, as does everyone. No, everyone isn't worried about their names being in the Epstein files. I know he was your neighbor.
I still think, by the way, that there's, like, obviously with him, you know, he's looking in because he is, he's looking in because he knows he could quite well be in them, and that there could be more incriminating stuff that he may be worried about. But, like, I still think most people would be interested, like, especially powerful people in the US who'd be like, oh, was Epstein talking about me? Was he talking about X, Y, and Z, academics and stuff? You know, there's seemingly some mentions of Joe Rogan, which we couldn't find the other day. I don't really know why. Real question, Chris, who is going to hold them to account? What is going to happen if our administration doesn't? What is the next step? There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. There's your answer. That's who holds them to account. The damn Intifada and revolution.
That was a coincidence, but please disclose everything that's relevant here so that we have a chance to work together and move on.
To the best of my memory, I met him when he moved next door to me, and I met him 2 other times in 14 years. None within 6 years of that first meeting, and then a year and a half later, and none thereafter. And in the presence of my wife, and as Senator Van Hollen said, under no circumstances is there a single word that I've done anything remotely wrong in any possible regard. I did not have anything you could call a relationship, anything you could call an acquaintance. I literally met him 3 times over 14 years with water.
I would say if I went over to someone's house for dinner that they were an acquaintance of mine. I would say.
Widespread in between. That's all I can remember. That's all there is in the documents. I didn't look through the documents with any fear whatsoever because I know and my wife knows that I have done absolutely nothing wrong in any possible regard.
Thank you for answering our questions today.
By the way, they got him outside, so let's hear what he's got to say here.
People about your interactions with Epstein?
Did you have any financial involvement with Jeffrey Epstein?
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty to sex crimes?
Come on, give us some space.
What do you say to the Democrats calling on for you to resign?
By the way, Eyes Wide Shut isn't even that good a movie. It's really long, and I don't even think it's anywhere near the best Kubrick film. Shining is way better. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I thought it was okay. It's just like rich people do bad things, and it's like, yep, I think you were proven right, Mr. Kubrick.
Mr. Epstein, people of your level in the British government have been forced to resign. Will you resign?
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty?
I look forward to testifying today.
Did you mischaracterize your relationship with him? Why did you say you found him gross but still kept in contact with him?
What do you say to those who are calling for you to resign now? Are you willing to speak to Congress about this?
I'm going to speak to Congress right now.
I hope for the rest of their lives that all of these people are haunted.
You expect to be asked about Epstein?
Why did you mischaracterize
people about your...
Yeah, I think I think all of these people need to be, for the rest of their lives, asked every single day about what they did with Jeffrey Epstein.
Never have any contact with him.
And never, ever, ever be allowed to, to just do anything, do anything without being asked about what is going on in the about what happened between you and Jeffrey Epstein and all of this stuff. I think you should never, ever, ever be allowed to do this. By the way, does look like apparently Andrew might have some accountability. This is former Prince Andrew, one of the best UK royals. I mean, not stiff competition, but yeah.
Families breaking its silence over new allegations that former Prince Andrew shared sensitive information with Jeffrey Epstein.
Once again, it's amazing because what will get Andrew and what will get Peter Mandelson and what has got Peter Mandelson is the fact that they shared information with Epstein.
King Charles says he's, quote, ready to support the police as they look into claims that his brother shared confidential material with the convicted sex offender back.
God, Charles looks fucking terrible.
When Andrew was a trade envoy. Buckingham Palace released a statement saying, quote, the king has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions his profound concerns at allegations which continue to come to light in respect to Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. Former Prince Andrew has repeatedly denied wrongdoing with respect to Epstein. Now Prince William and Princess Kate are also speaking out, saying they're deeply concerned and...
How are you saying you're deeply concerned? I think you should be calling, like, anyone who thinks that any of these people are doing anything moral are airheaded morons. Because if you want to do something, call for an investigation into what your horrifying mother knew, into what all of these governments felt and saw about all of this kind of stuff. Because they will have known. They will have known about this, about these pedos who were constantly in their house, you know?
Focused on the victims. ABC News Royal contributor Victoria Murphy has the latest on that from London. Hi, Victoria. So what's it like there in London with this major scandal now surrounding the royal family?
Good morning, Diane. Well,
Well, over in England, things are not looking too good, old chap. In England, things have been rather poor. The Queen and the royal family obviously normally act as a guiding light during difficult times, where we, the common folk, who are the subjects of the Queen, I must remind you, don't know what we should be doing. Now, when Prince Andrew has gone out and been a pedophile, because I live my life through what the Queen and the royal family do and say, I don't know what to do. What is your take on Princess Diana? She was a royal. She was a royal. I'm sure she was better than most, but she was a royal. And I don't know enough about her, but she seems more decent than most. Was the Queen in the files? No, but Epstein went to Buckingham Palace.
over the front pages again today, a lot of scrutiny on the royal family. And I have to say, you know, we've been covering this now for many, many years, but this is the most pressure I think I have ever seen the royal family as a whole under over this. We have never seen them heckled in the way that we have in the past few days before, to this extent on their public engagements, been put on the spot, been asked questions, and they have responded by releasing these unprecedented statements. We've had the first ever statement from Kensington Palace on behalf of William and Kate about this. Until now, they have left.
Oh gosh, we're so shocked about what our silly brother and Uncle Andrew has done. What is he like? We've just had to come out now. It was okay when he was friends with a pedo, but you know, oh gosh, it's getting so bad.
It to Buckingham Palace to make statements about Epstein. And we have also had the same day this statement from Buckingham Palace saying that they stand ready to support police. And to me, that really shows a quite a different, very proactive tone. The tone that...
God, I actually cannot listen to a royal correspondent just talk like crap. This is my main problem with the royal family as well. Is, you know, I have many problems, but I think a major problem is just the guff that they spew. That it's just like, yes, well, they guide us. They guide us. And someone asked, do I think this is the end of the royal family? No, because they have, like, this whole... We watched this yesterday, but I'll show it again. There's this whole, like, swarm of just mindless idiots who think that this is how we should live our lives with someone who is rich. And don't worry, we've done away with the notion that it's by virtue of their blood, but instead because they do PR as a job, that they like go out and cut a ribbon and be friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, apparently these people, because they do PR, have some divine right to rule over us.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Epstein?
Like, listen to these people, bro. They're so excited to see and touch this royal. He's just like, by the way, I have seen this guy so many times in my life, Prince Charles. I've seen him one time. I was on that pack, you know, I was off that pack and I saw him driving his convertible car with the little ginger Prince Harry. And one time when I was a kid, I remember Harry, I saw Harry one time. These people are totally, normal. They are totally the same as every other human being in this country. And the notion that just because they do PR, they have some right to rule over us and that they have steered this country is insane. And it's not a humble brag. I don't know these people. It just so happened when I was younger, I lived in a place where you saw the royals sometimes. God save the king! It's just like, oh my God, how can you worship someone who literally says that, who does nothing? Look, they do nothing. At least like Messi and Ronaldo are sick at football, you know? Like Ronaldo's obviously got his issue, like there's some problematic things going on with Cristiano Ronaldo. But like Messi is a baller. Cole Palmer is sick, bro. Cole Palmer can score a hat-trick. Cole Palmer scored 4 hat-tricks. What has the Queen done? Genuinely. And there's I don't even care that much about meeting Cole Palmer. I wouldn't stand in a crowd and be like, oh, Cole. Sitting there and doing that for some guy with sausage fingers. Oh. And yeah, they'll be like, oh, one of them has cancer, so all of your mean comments about them, oh my gosh. And let's once again just listen to this.
No credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case.
Yes, you are correct. It's called, I had to search up the name. It's a royal assent. Is the monarch's agreement that was, it's not actually a thing, but it's still technically a thing. Royal assent. They can do things, wait, hold on. Queen Elizabeth. Hold on, I wanted to show this. Artifact. Queen Elizabeth owned a ton of artifacts and helped basically lobby and manipulate laws in order to prevent herself ever having to give back things. The idea of police searching the Queen's private estates at Balmoral and Sandringham for stolen goods may seem unlikely, even though in 2015 a painting in the Dutch royal collection was identified as Nazi loot. But yeah, she has things that should be probably not held by the royals, but, you know, who gives a shit? It's just... oh. Also, quickly, before we do another hard-hitting story, you know what? You guys have sat through so much Epstein stuff. You've earned yourself a little bit of slop. You've earned yourself a bit of Ethan Klein slop. Don't you worry. So, basically, there's quite a bit of Ethan Klein funny up to stuff. Like, first of all, guys, I think we all need to appreciate he's got a funny hat on. So, funny hat from Ethan Klein. Well done, Ethan Klein. Hold on, guys, you probably can't even see the funny hat. But Ethan actually has a funny hat on here. And this is like a funny joke. He's got this funny hat on. But, yeah, so he's really upset with a certain video where... a certain article that said about Ethan... that he had said that a genocide of a group of people was inevitable.
Practices, including people who have called genocide against a certain group of people inevitable, waters down that message somewhat.
Oh,
when the fuck did I say that?
It's because, by the way, someone included a condemnation of The Binding of Isaac for having a congratulations to Ethan and Healer in it.
Jew. You scumbag. Like, fuck you.
Also, by the way, like, listen to how much of a meltdown he has, and, like, them playing the sound bites to G him up of, like, oh, they're doing this because you are Jewish, poor Ethan Klein. But don't worry. Oh, wow.
What the fuck? When the fuck did I say that?
Oh, wait, it's not Binding of Isaac. I don't know what the game is.
Dummy, weirdo, freak. You went out of your way to say that? Naomi Jackson? Give him an 8, and you're gonna ding him for that?
Sorry. It's a review of not Binding of Isaac, Mugenics. me Mugenics review. So it is... Hold on. It's this Mugenics game? Yeah. The tactical cat breeding game will keep you playing for hours. That sounds odd.
Bro, I'm so sick of these people.
That's fucked up, dude.
It's fucked up. Like, and by the way...
Like, he has literally just a group of sycophants who hype him up, who pretend that he's some kind of victim.
I never fucking said anything like that.
Me neither. She named both of us.
You're not even in the game. Naomi Jackson.
This is gold. This is gold, though. You are not going to believe how amazing this is.
And so here it... Oh, see, that's not even her. Video game reviewer. I'm so tired of people just taking these fucking bullshit shots and lying about me. She's literally going to ding down this poor guy's game because he used my voice. And by the way, we recorded that like 3 years ago. Right? I mean, shout out to him for not being a baby and editing it out. But
By the way, #1 harassment podcast. As I've said before, Ethan's podcast, like the day in which you get a Harley, transphobic sack of shit to host your after show podcast, and girl with a microphone whose literal only talent is being a sycophant of you. That is it. There is nothing else. She is just a sycophant of you. She doesn't know anything. She just hates Hassan. Like that is all you have done, right? Like that is all you have done. Like, congratulations. And those are not gonna perform well. Like, they are declining in views. The podcast declines in views. And all it relies on, and by the way, all his fans are like, yep, you're obsessed with Ethan. All his channel is just talking about, like, drama and reporting on things badly.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me guess. She watches Hassan. Right? Why don't you fucking link to where I said that in your review before you defame me in one of your fucking reviews? Like, link to it. Go ahead, show me where I said that genocide against people is inevitable. Go ahead and show me that, scumbag. That's a fucked up thing to say. You can't just, like, say shit like that and just pretend like it's all hunky-dory. Like, you...
Do you remember when you called Madison over and over again a Nazi, a B-word to all of your audience, and you got your little sycophants to say it, the H3H3 Arslick crew, that you got all of them to say over and over again? We love you. You are the victim. You are suffering from anti-Semitism in your Bel Air mansion. And then if they do it well enough, they get to be on the show and they get to be in the orbit and they get paid by you if they lick your ass enough, because no one on the actual internet will do it. But, like, you then say that no one should say anything about you when the things said about you are actually true?
Can't just say, oh yeah, Ethan Klein, who wants minority groups to perish. Like, fuck off, dude. Scumbag, freak, loser, bad reviewer, gamer girl, bad at games, probably sucks at video games. Got him. Ultimate takedown. Sorry, Tamara said bruh. Tamara's a real gamer.
Is it true that they try to get all the money and stuff out of a non-Jew?
No, that's not true, but I'll tell you someone who might think it is true.
Have you heard that?
Naomi Jackson.
Like, listen to this! Listen to this! This guy is mental. This guy is mentally deranged. And the only requirement to work around him is to be a sycophant. He is mentally deranged. How do you leap from someone saying this about you to anti-Semitism? This is like ADL, Telegraph, fucking Jake Wallace-Simons, like the biggest pro-Israel organizations saying that it is anti-Semitic to talk about Israel doing genocide. Like, I know Ethan himself doesn't say that, but when it comes to someone accusing you of something you actually said. This is mental. This is mentally deranged.
Naomi's a gender fluid award nominated producer. Oh, you're only nominated? Talk to me when you win something, loser, idiot, bad writer, dumbass. Award nominated? Yeah, I've been nominated. Who's not been nominated? Getting nominated is the easy part. Try winning something.
To be fair, one thing I will say is I do think his commentary there, like bringing up the gamer girl thing, I mean, grotesque. But what I will say is, don't most IGN reviewers like suck at games? Wasn't there one of them? What was the game I remember that caused a controversy or something? Because there was like a male IGN reviewer who was just like, the introduction is really hard.
As well as many other hyphenated phrases, who has been working in the media since 2018. That's interesting. You've been working in the media since 2018. You don't know to just casually defame people in your fucking reviews, you lying scumbag. How about link it if you're going to say that? Let's see your source on that. When not creating stuff for Sifter, you can find Nom lurking on Blue Sky. Oof.
The Cuphead tutorial. Yeah.
Blue Sky. Does anyone on Blue Sky? I've heard it's like a world place there. Blue Ski. Anyway, that's the hater corner. You know what my response is to your review? Go home, gamer girl.
The sycophants haven't laughed after the show. After the show, everyone's getting a message. Hey guys, at approximately 1:32:24, I made a joke in the show, and to each sycophant, you did not laugh. That is your day's pay deducted.
Play it. Morgan knows. Don't you have the soundbite?
Oh, okay. That's what started it then. Okay.
From the SUV episode. Go home, gamer girl.
I don't think I do. I will say I was eyeballing the game Eugenics, but now that I heard that you're in it, I'm definitely going to get it.
You got it. So. There you go. Busted. Counterpoint. Actually, but the game is really fun. I'm glad I got an opportunity to talk about it because
yeah.
I think it's going to be a monster hit.
It's seeming like already a big hit. Lots of amazing reviews already for it.
Is it just you saying meow?
Yes.
That's adorable.
It's just me meowing.
Can you give us an example?
I don't remember. It was years ago. I did just meows and stuff. He's just reached out to me. He was like, hey, can you send me a bunch of meows for a game I'm working on? I was like, sure.
He's been working on that since 2012, by the way. Super.
By the way, this guy is a prolific game creator. He made A Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy.
Oh.
That was when a video game was announced, right? What game caused that reaction?
I fucking forget. I think it was a Final Fantasy Tact.
Oh, so he made it.
Makes sense because he's a huge Final Fantasy fan.
All right, chill, bro.
I'll buy the game. Who gives a shit if Ethan's in it? It probably doesn't go to him. It's just him going meow. I doubt he gets any royalties. That's not like enough of the threshold of being a voice actor, but fuck knows. Okay, wait. He finds the clip.
There's nothing in this world that should make you make those sounds.
And then he's also got that one.
That was at a glitch in the game. Yeah.
I think that one's genuine.
Ethan Klein.
Here we go.
Does anyone want to guess on the source for this? Ethan Klein says genocide is inevitable. That's a good guess. That's not correct, though.
Our own subreddit.
9 months ago, my favorite subreddit that I see on the homepage daily. Totally legit, cool, not compromised. Faux moi.
I like how he is upset and says that the problem is that faux moi is the source, but it's him speaking. Like, it's not an edited clip. It is just himself speaking. My man. Come on. It's your mouth. Your mouth is the source. Your mouth is the source. You cannot judge a source to be bad when it is an unedited clip of you. It is an unedited clip.
It's a clip of me debating Sam Cedar. The title is Ethan Klein on Israel's genocide against Palestine. It was inevitable. right? Sounds bad, I guess. If you just read the headline, but if you actually watch the clip, it doesn't even. As they tried.
If you actually watch the clip, this made me so fucking mad. I'm not exaggerating. This wound me up.
The clip, it's so hard, but it still doesn't even substantiate the headline. Faux moi is such a fucked up subreddit. Like, I don't know how Reddit gets away with this. They post defamatory headlines about me, and other people, just straight brazen lies. It goes to the front page of Reddit, millions of visitors, and by the way,
bro, you literally shared an out of context clip from a subreddit that actually does that. This is you speaking. This is not out of context.
You go to the front page, faux moi occupies it a lot. And then when people in the comments try to correct it and be like, Ethan didn't say that, etc., they banned them.
Yeah.
They not only that, they preemptively banned anybody that's active on our subreddit. So how is that not platform sanctioned defamation?
Snark brain.
What the fuck, dude?
Your snark brain.
And I think a lot of the misinfo and bullshit that people think about me is directly from these types of subreddits.
No, they're directly from your stupid mouth.
Millions of views, and in the comments, you get banned for defending me or trying to give an alternate explanation. How is Reddit not accountable for that? It's mind-blowing. Anyway, here's the clip. You can tell me if you think that this is me saying that the genocide is inevitable. I mean, Hamas could have ended the... It's hard watching this because Sam Cedar is such a fucking dumb scumbag loser.
I can't believe a man who needs ChatGPT to talk to Benny fucking Johnson is calling anyone else stupid.
For this take and so many others. I'm going to skip forward because it's 3 minutes. It happens at the end. Were people attacking the border wall?
During the Great March... I cannot do... This is the scummiest shit. For a guy who's been like, Iran, anyone who says anything. For someone who took an actual out-of-context clip of me. Oh my fucking God. Right. Before the Great March of Return and Lonabox and Destiny and all of these people are despicable for doing this. Right. In the days preceding the mass demonstration, the Israeli army's chief of staff, General Gadi Eisenkot, announced that 100 Israeli snipers would be deployed to the perimeter and are instructed to use a lot of force. The day after the demonstrations, Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman, by the way, Avigdor Lieberman beat up a child, said there would be no Israeli investigations of the killings, that the government would not cooperate with any international inquiry as called for by the UN Secretary General and the EU. Israeli troops continued to use lethal force against the demonstrators without showing that the protest posed any imminent threat. Anyone who has the fucking audacity to relitigate the Great March of Return, to then sit there and say, oh, I hate militant resistance too. What do you want Palestinians to do? The Great March of Return, you won't even let them attack a fucking wall when Israel is deploying 100 snipers and telling them to use a lot of force, when they literally say after the demonstrations, we're not cooperating, we're not investigating ourselves. These are people, right, who were shooting legs intentionally. Like, Israeli soldiers released multiple articles where they spoke about this, that they called a leg a bullseye. They called a knee a bullseye. They wounded 8,000 people were shot with live fire. And someone like this has the audacity to go on and on about this border wall. And by the way, in a society where your healthcare system is already brought to its knees by like a prolonged Israeli blockade, which, by the way, you had a Palestinian propagandist on to claim that there was nothing wrong with. When your healthcare system is already crippled, what is the expectation of dealing with complex trauma and really serious wounds? What do you think happens to a cancer patient when there are people who come in with guns and shoot people in the legs and give them very complex injuries that require huge treatment in the here and now? What do you think happens? But no, like, listen to Lonabox, listen to these people whose only goal is to win a debate online. That's it. Listen to this as well. This is from Craig Jones, Great March Enduring Violence. On the 14th of May 2018, the Israeli military shot at least 1,162 people with live ammunition. There were 5 major protest sites that day, and at just one of those sites in Gaza City, Israeli soldiers were shooting an average of almost 1 person every minute from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It was slaughter that day, recalled one doctor. Another told of how corridors were full, everyone was crying, shouting and bleeding. We could not cope with the huge number of injured. The protesters ended the demonstrations early on the 14th of May, sending people home for fear of bringing the hospitals to a standstill. The trauma burden was so intense during the Great March of Return that it had repercussions for the entire healthcare system. Resources were diverted away from ordinary medical needs such as births, routine operations, cancer treatments, and burn treatments with far-reaching consequences. In 2018 alone, approximately 8,000 elective surgeries were postponed or cancelled. The number of injuries was so acute that patients were prematurely discharged to make space in hospitals for each successive wave of incoming injury. The protests took place each Friday, and in grim anticipation, the Ministry of Health would begin to accelerate discharges earlier that week. Patients who were prematurely discharged would then seek treatment at primary healthcare clinics, which were under-resourced to cope with high volumes of complex injuries. Listen to that, and these people tell you that they are pro-Palestine. They have the audacity to act as if the Palestinians are the problem. That actually them attacking a border wall is something amazing. Is something amazing and worthy of death.
March of Return, the first dozens of these things before the snipers? No, they weren't. So there were the people for peace.
There was Hamas activity. They were attacking. By the way, I'm right. Sam is wrong. He literally.
So why, once again, I will put on the clip. I will say exactly what I said on the live stream fail clip that you took out of context, Mr. Klein. I know he's not going to give a shit about this. In Iran, there were undeniably violent agitators. Why was it wrong for the Iranian state to kill people? Why? You justify it in the context of Hamas being there. Why is it if they just say, oh, well, there were these if there were these Mossad and all these agents, why is it that all of a sudden you balk at that and you play an out of context clip of me? Why does that upset you?
Expose himself. He doesn't know anything about the conflict. He just regurgitates talking points. I thought he was smarter and more.
By the way, this is actually just a regurgitation of talking points. Like, this is wholly Zionist propaganda. This man is still a Zionist. This guy is a monstrous individual, willing to justify the mass slaughter of Palestinians and then laugh in your face and tell you that he's pro-Palestine and bring on that egg piece of shit and that Harley Moronstein, a justifier of massacres of paramedics in Rafah, to his podcast and then have the audacity to tell you that he is attacked for being a Jew because he sits around people like fucking AB and Zach who tell him that he's genuinely the victim in this situation. It is actually amazing. It is actually amazing that this is a real thing. Like, I cannot reiterate to you enough that this guy is like, that this guy is in any way anything but a Zionist piece of shit.
In defense, they were like trying to cross the border.
They were
like, not
attacking
militants. Militants were trying to cross the border.
You're telling me that in the first dozen of these marches, there were people attacking the fence?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Regurgitated talking points from Loner Box and Destiny. Just read this. Some soldiers made a game out of targeting legs, and the anatomically complex knee became the inevitable bullseye. Can you imagine if Hamas made a game on October the 7th of shooting Israelis in the legs? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Can you genuinely imagine were that a thing? Reports of kneecapping were emerging in the West Bank in the years immediately preceding the Great March of Return, with one Shin Bet security service officer reportedly telling Palestinians, all of you will end up on crutches and will make you all disabled, quoted by Amira Hass, by the way, an Israeli. In the Great March of Return, the anatomical patterns were unmistakable. You are not meant to see massive bleeding because in the region of the knee and bone, there aren't a lot of capillaries, reported a sniper who was deployed to the Gaza border fence. If you see blood, that's not a good sign.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Because you probably hit too high. Another sniper boasted of how he kept bullet casings for each Palestinian knee he hit, 52 in total. Asked whether he considered this a high number, the soldier replied, "I haven't really thought about it. It's not hundreds of liquidations like in the movie American Sniper. We're talking about knees. I'm not making light of it. I shot a human being, but still." After a day of maiming, members of his unit would ask how many knees he had chalked up. The previous record of the total of knees targeted by one sniper was 11, but this sniper boasted of how he brought in 7/8 knees in one day, and within a few hours, almost broke the grim record. Another reported how the best case was to break the kneecap. Just want to hear that it's utterly ridiculous. Thanks for the €2 and setting it off. Thanks for supporting and making this possible. Ugh. I just like, this is what Loner Box and Ethan Klein defend when they relitigate the Great March of Return, by the way, when they're like, actually, the Palestinians are the problems. As I told you, before anything had happened, Israel deployed hundreds of snipers. That's what happened. But no, actually, the Palestinians were the violent ones.
Yes, but I mean, again, I think that there's a way for Israel to try. I think they can obviously pursue peace. The way that they're doing it is impossible, right? Like, it's fucked up, it's insane, it's genocidal, it's horrific.
They're not pursuing peace.
I'm not saying. I'm saying the opposite.
I don't think Israel is.
Well, you asked me what should they have done. I mean, obviously they're not pursuing peace. I agree with you. Like,
does this sound like a guy supporting genocide right now?
Quite the opposite. That's not what they're doing. But I'm saying there could have been a path, although it's not.
So I'm saying Israel's wrong. They're pursuing. They're not pursuing peace. They're fucking everything up.
It's. I think. Unfortunately, I think their response was inevitable based on everything that happened.
You think it was inevitable that they would kill these many people and they would use food supplies as a weapon, that they would have leveled hospitals and universities and
why are we
90% of the
this?
homes? I mean, how
I don't know.
I love how AB chips in to tell his boss to stop watching. I love how AB chips in to tell his boss that he needs to stop relitigating this because of how bad this is.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Via Hell for Michelle, thank you for the €2. I love how he comes in and literally is there to say, that's it, to keep Ethan in check and to teach him how to be pro-Palestine.
Well, I'm trying to explain what she said. I'm not relitigating. I'm right. There's nothing to litigate.
Relitigating?
And they would use food supplies as a weapon, that they would have leveled hospitals and universities and 90% of the homes. I mean, how
I don't know.
That's it. And then
that's clearly saying that genocide is inevitable, you sack of shit. And Elab, thank you for the €2 again. Thanks for supporting and being here.
She puts in her review that I said genocide is inevitable. What the?
That is literally what you said, and you had to get your little, you had to get AB to keep you in check and tell you, oh, no man, no more watching, man. Gotta do my sycophancy for the day so I can earn my pay and live in an LA apartment. It's so good when my boss tells the Palestinians who got their legs blown off for peacefully protesting that they were actually the ones who deserved it.
Fuck, dude. Fuck her, dude.
Both of us, by the way.
Fuck her.
Both of us.
Fuck you even more, Healer. You are far worse than Ethan. Ethan is, and that's saying something. Ethan is a morally repugnant Zionist, but you are off the rails, Zionism. The shit that you've been caught liking is despicable.
How am I supposed to react? Just like, that's funny. She goes, now, yeah, I like the game, but he included genocidal lunatic Ethan and Ela Klein in it, essentially.
100% an apt description.
Paraphrasing. Fuck you.
There you are, justifying people getting their legs blown off, mate. Justifying innocent people being shot in the legs because Lonerbox and Destiny taught you how to talk about it.
But I'm sure Naomi is an expert in...
I love how this is their defense because they've watched some Lonerbox and Destiny videos. They know everything.
What's happening?
Well, actually, I don't know if you know, but on Twitter, she's very active on advocating for all the right stuff. So, hey, okay, we found the clip. Thank you, guys.
Possibly.
Let me see.
This is the closest we can find.
And then he has to move on because they've texted him, "Hey, Ethan, you're making yourself look bad because you're a fucking idiot who doesn't know anything about you're talking about. So time to turn off, Mr. Klein. No more, please." He was also having a great day yesterday, threatening Casey Tron. Don't worry, he's setting up Naomi to be harassed by his audience. Because have you noticed that
It is utterly ridiculous.
I've forgotten what I was saying there. Did you see he's mocked people saying "fuck ICE" now? No, I didn't see that, Carla Byrne. Thanks for the €2. I've not seen that.
Factor. She's my favorite patron. Isn't it nice getting a check every month from my favorite patron? So, friend of the show.
By the way, the only thing Ethan can talk about is how much more money he has than people. That's his life.
Casey Tron, everybody. And she has a take about Emerald. I'm surprised she's still running her mouth.
Oh, yeah. Have you noticed? Naomi's a woman. That's the issue.
I recall her apologizing to Asmongold, who she despises.
Yeah.
That was pretty humiliating. I'm surprised she's still running her mouth.
You know what I mean? It's like her whole her whole platform is just like
By the way,
to, like,
why are you
the
so
work.
mad at her? Like, they're talking about her so nasty. She didn't do anything except be like, why do I need to say fuck ICE? Like, I'm just here playing video games, right?
First fucking.
I think when you have a big platform, I think you probably should say fuck ICE. I think you should say fuck all of these things, and I think we all have responsibilities to use our platforms.
Men. And
Well, I'm guessing it's the same
like-
reason that Denham's is going in on her because of what she said about the lawsuit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why she's mad. That was Casey. I think maybe Casey Tron forget her public statement, but she also thought my lawsuit was like really valid, and she wished me luck against the other
Never
people.
fucking know.
So I think Casey Tron must have forgot her position on this, right?
Haha, guys! I sued someone who has financial people to support in her life. I sued them. Haha, do you get it? Do you get it? I sued them.
Hopefully, I don't have to remind her, right?
Just my opinion. But yeah, she sucks. And I mean, like, I don't know. I think that this was a long time coming. I think the other thing that was just like, okay, is
ICE are literally torturing people in detention centers and behaving like the Israeli military. It is the... And of course, actually, you know what? I shouldn't even say that because, of course, they are behaving like the Israeli military. But they're behaving as Americans do to people who are, you know, deemed inferior to them. That's it.
how she didn't say anything whenever it came to Tectone and Pinky Chew, you know? She didn't say anything, like, in support of Pinky Chew or, like, you know, like, yeah, like, I don't associate with, like, it's...
So, I mean, when are you going to announce your friends? For example, I know Mike from PA violently assaulted a couch. When are you going to speak out in defense of that?
That's just, like, not funny. Like, what the fuck? Tectone is a fucking rapist. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Tectone is a creep and a stalker, and he was found civilly liable of sexual assault. That's a very different situation. That's not something to joke about.
Right? I mean, it's easy for you to say because you're not close to it. But, like, if there was truth and honesty in the world, you would have denounced Mike from PA long ago for the horrible things he's done to couches.
Like, what's the joke?
You know.
Tectone is accused of pushing multiple women's head into his crotch and forcing them into sexual activity. What's the joke? What is genuinely the joke? Has he even spoken about against Tectone? Has he even spoken out against him? Has he spoken out against Tectone? Because that Tectone shit is despicable. Why did you delete that one? Imagine how any of them... Oh, you did it by accident. Yeah, imagine how... Yeah. I don't know. It's all a grift, by the way. All of this is just a grift. Every single last bit of Ethan pretending to give a shit about ICE is a grift. All of that stuff he did around ICE. He realized, by the way, don't make any mistake. What Ethan Klein knows that he needs to do in order to reform his image is go on Piers Morgan and have a debate with a monster like Benny Morris. That's what this is. And I genuinely don't know what the joke is there. Like, I feel like making light of what Tectone did is grotesque. Like, read about what he did. It is repugnant, and yet you want to make light of it? It's a joke to you? It's a joke? It's like, ha ha ha, they should speak out against Mike from PA. Like, bro, Mike from PA's probably said some stupid shit. He streams all the time. It seems everyone who streams says stupid shit. But Mike from PA has not lost a civil case. He's not got allegations from multiple women against him. He's not a domestic abusing piece of shit stalker who lies online, who's a misogynistic sack of shit, who loves your content, who loves your horrible little lawsuits against people. I don't fucking know. Did he speak out against... Like, for him, he doesn't... Yeah, notice how not a single fuck is given about ICE, not a single fuck is given about Palestine, not a single fuck is given about anything. All he cares about is repairing his image, which somehow part of repairing
It is utterly ridiculous.
Somehow a part of repairing his image is bringing in fucking Harley Morenstein, transphobic sack of shit. Like father, like son. Elephant Fish, thanks for the 100 NOK. Like father, like son. I think the apple was rotten, right? It's not, actually. I was going to say apple's fallen far from the tree. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but I do think the apple is rotten right to the core. And it's not one bad apple at their dog shit show. But I'm sure, surely a third Ethan Klein dog shit take can't hit the building. Surely. But they will, by the way, they'll ebb away and they'll have to cancel their stupid show. Oh my god, actually there is a third Ethan Klein video apparently. There is a third Ethan Klein video. A third Ethan Klein video has hit the stream, I'm afraid to inform you.
I mean, I don't know. Where I grew up, it's like everybody's Jewish, so it's... Well, not everybody, but almost everybody. So
it's not special. You're
it's
not special.
Yes, everebody treats... like,
you're Jewish, so what, bro?
You always you're always on edge because everybody's trying to get...
But that's the Israeli... it's kind of the Israeli hustle.
There's some...
It's kind of the Middle Eastern hustle in general.
There's something special about meeting like a random person you're meeting for the first time. Like you'll be at a bar, or it's a friend of a friend, and you find out they're Jewish. And it's like this coming of...
Oh, yeah, no, that's not in Israel ever. You don't have that in Israel.
I like how...
ever.
Was that intentional that they got a message saying a pervert arrested for crimes above Zach? Because obviously he's not... No one's confirmed anything. No one's said anything. No one's alleging anything. In this stream, I am a comedic reporter who enjoys politics, but...
Right. Which is one of the things that's most surprising about it.
Oh, I didn't know that the full saying was one rotten apple spoils the bunch. Indeed it does.
As an American Jew, when you go there, and people ask me that all the time, they're like, what's it like living amongst so many Jewish people? It's like, bro, they don't give a fuck that you're Jewish. Everybody's Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
I think Israel as a society might be premised on giving a fuck whether you're Jewish or not. I mean, they engage in ethnic cleansing, but of course when you get to live in Tel Aviv and have the nice privilege of not having to deal with the issue of getting your home taken away from you because you're the right race, everything is good. But I understand, like, look, there's solidarity amongst Jewish people. That's fine. Like, like... minorities can feel that way, and I'm sure that there definitely are culturally specific things that Jewish people would find community over. But I feel like this is a crazy way to talk about fucking Israel.
Everybody's scamming each other. Everybody's cutthroat.
Yeah.
There's no deals to be had in Israel. None.
Is it true that Jews always try to Jew
Yes,
people down?
cutthroat is the word I was
Yeah,
looking for.
it's a dog eat dog world, man. Ain't no deals being cut.
Have you heard that though?
I have heard that.
Oh, okay.
What? Sorry? I feel like if I made a video where I said this, you would call me anti-Semitic. Because, by the way, this isn't even a joke either. You live in America! You live in America! America is a cutthroat society! How do you think someone becomes a billionaire? Like, genuinely, how does someone become a billionaire? Like, how do you think that works? Like, that's not some specific thing to Jewish people. That's crazy to say.
Let's say I hired a Jew crew to do something for my home, put a roof over the house or whatever, right?
Jew
It's like
crew.
they're trying to Jew me down and charge me an arm and a leg because I'm not Jew, but they...
By the way, this guy got so scared of having a debate with me that I ruined doing it for someone else, because I think his name's Rudy Rockman. I asked to have a debate with him, and he got so terrified that he was like, yeah, I can't go near Chris Kunstler.
Wouldn't do that to another Jew.
No,
Is
they
that
do
true?
it to us
Name me a
too.
black stereotype.
Bro, I got ripped off.
No, they do it to us too.
We've had Israelis and Israelis specifically coming to our house, giving us like roof quotes, work quotes. I'll be honest, I go out of my way not to work with Israelis. I do. I just know better. They're scheming, they're upcharging, everything, right? I
Specifically Israelis or just Jewish people?
Specifically Israelis.
It's unfortunate. It's
American
very
Jews are
unfortunate.
just like regular people, but the Israeli Jew is just because it's just the way they grew up in scarcity. Everybody's hustling, right?
Yes.
Just a different mindset.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck is he saying? Bro, this guy is so racist. This guy's doing like old-timey racism, and he's like, no, American Jews are like, they're good, but, what the fuck? Like, what is he saying here? Like, BDS don't work with Israelis. Fine, because they're doing genocide. But no, Ethan's reason for not working with an Israeli is because they're untrustworthy, because they've spent too much time around other Jewish people. That's not even an exaggeration, by the way. That is literally what this guy has just said. But no, Madison's the Nazi. What the actual fuck is wrong with This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
We're not used to, sometimes like the American customer service is something they're not familiar with or used to it at all.
No.
And so there's just like a different level of,
They don't know what customer service is. Customer's
Yeah,
always
and-
wrong in Israel.
Yes.
Yeah, because most people are traumatized from having to spend so much time killing fucking Palestinians, so they're really unpleasant to be around. And if you live in an incredibly racist society, that's where the issue lies.
The artist I wanted to collaborate with decided I don't want to be associated because I'm Israeli. Here's the quote.
Ethan, oh no, bro, You won't let people work with Israelis.
It is utterly ridiculous.
You won't let people work with Israelis because Israelis are... because Israel's doing genocide. But if they distrust them because Israelis belong to a cutthroat society, that's okay, bro. This guy's doing some old-timey anti-Semitism. This guy is getting crazy with it. Bro's gonna be talking about, like, Shakespeare had a point, guys. Like, a little bit. At the local hospital, in 1 year, there were 21 knee amputations. 2 IOF would make that in 1 day. So, yes, the March of Return was bad. Fucking hell. Thank you for the $5. I mean, it is grotesque that people defend it. I don't know if you meant to send your super chat earlier, but thank you for the $5 and thank you for that information.
Sorry, I can't be associated with this company. Thanks for considering. I followed them for years, always supported them, and I have an ongoing painting of his at my house.
When someone BDS's Israel, when someone BDS's Israelis because they're anti-Semitic. Okay, bro. Okay. Okay. I like it.
Wait, what the fuck? Who's she talking about?
Like, just telling this as well to your impressionable audience whose only understanding of anti-Semitism is what you tell them. I don't know, bro. I think you might need to have a little look in the mirror about why people might be getting quite anti-Semitic out here.
When we talk about how serious the rise in anti-Semitism, this is why it's scary for us. It's now so casual to just not want to associate with an Israeli just because I was born there. And I mean, I didn't know she posted this, but it's not just her. I mean, this is happening to Israeli.
By the way, like, I have associated with an Israeli, and I would do it again. I am more than happy to associate with Ilan Pappé. I will assassinate. I was about to say I will assassinate. I will not be assassinating Ilan, I swear. But I will always associate with anti-Zionist people.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Imagine the debate with Death Noodles tomorrow. Oh God, bro. You know, two idiots fighting.
Artist, there's like a popular Israeli musician that we follow who's like pro-peace, totally like modern leftist, only just Israeli. That's it.
The pro-peace musician is the burn the village, may your village burn guy. Ethan and Healer have got that on at full volume, and they're like, he wants peace, man. It was inevitable. Knox, thanks for the $2 as well, by the way. And I see you got the red Labubu. Oh, it's looking good.
They were born there. Their parents were born there, you know. All of her tours are being canceled because she's Israeli. You know, I mean, that's just not normal shit. And this is the result of Hassan's type of activism, where there's
This is the best Ethan Klein video ever. This is gold. This is the magnum opus of Ethan Klein.
Zero space. Forget nuance. I mean, it's like they're just all or nothing. Like, I mean, that's just not how the world works.
Ethan Klein could Ethan Klein be the return of Jesus Christ? Man feeds 20,000 people with slop. Man turns...
It is utterly ridiculous.
Wow, Henry, you are the closest to the golden Labubu. You are the closest to the golden Labubu, Henry. You are getting up there.
Not how the world works.
There can be a pro-peace Israeli, like someone who is genuinely an anti-Zionist. But unfortunately, no. But you've never heard me laugh this hard because you have never ever seen me cut. Like, look, I was expecting to be done. I don't know how long I'll stay on because I got to do this call with the mods later, which you know, I'm looking forward to. And don't blame them; they're not making me go. We need to do it. But I was not expecting this to hit the stream. This is gold. This is one of the greatest videos because Ethan's views about Orthodox Jewish people. By the way, he held the same views as Jeffrey Epstein about Orthodox Jewish people, seemingly, and what him and Barak were talking about. That's what Ethan is, by the way, a kind of Barak liberal. I bet if Ehud Barak was in power and hadn't been associated with Epstein, Ethan would be like, yeah, he's pretty good. Also, Henry, thank you for being here for fucking 9 months.
Sorry. And I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened. There's been people who are like, we've been working with who just like suddenly will ignore. Like there's someone who we worked with who they just stop responding to you. And while they're totally active and working on other people, like a deal you've already worked out and you're planning on, and then they just ghost you.
You invite the Israelis over to your house to do to do work and give you a quote, and then you go, not paying you because you're from a cutthroat society.
And it's like, it's pretty obvious why.
You're a hustler, so you're not coming here. No.
Needless to say, I'm taking down his art today. Not sure what to do with it.
I love how he sat there, like, breathing in so heavily. Hey!
It is utterly ridiculous.
Elephant Fish, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the membership.
How do you think you are morally above us all when you're just judging people based on where they're from? You are fucking lucky you were born in America. And you get to fucking sit there and judge people who had no choice where they were born, whose parents were born there. You dumb scumbag. You are morally lucky. That's it. You have no hard decisions to make. All you get to do is fucking parade around social media and act high and mighty. What a scumbag.
By the way, a hard decision for an Israeli is literally just not backing genocide in the opinion of Ethan Klein. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. That is gold. That is gold. That is one of the greatest videos ever made. The man from the campaign against anti-Semitism is doing one of the most anti-Semitic rants that I think you could come up with. Because, as I said, America is an incredibly scam-based, cutthroat society, and being like specifically Israel and the Middle East is like that. Like, what is it that makes them like that then, Ethan? I'd love to hear. Oh. Yeah, I mean, no, Ethan won't wake up and ever think that he should be judged for being an American. He thinks he should get to live in a Bel Air mansion and pretend he's the victim of the biggest threat in the world because, I don't know, because he's Jewish and because people are mean to him on the internet sometimes and said he gave cheese to his dog. Okay, we're going to watch this Massie video.
The same questions. You mentioned that there are some things that have been redacted that probably shouldn't have been redacted.
Yeah.
Is there anything, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, 6 men's names. One of them's listed as a co-conspirator. Why would you redact his name?
Right.
There's not victim. What I'm saying is, it's not just victims' names that they've redacted.
It is utterly ridiculous.
And how can we get those names then?
Coffee Addict, thank you for giving the 5 memberships. What an incredibly kind gift. Thank you. And everyone who got one, not Elab notably, enjoy.
Public general.
W Coffee, thank you.
Well, I'm hopeful the DOJ will release them now that I've pointed it out to them. They've either got to say, okay, we made a mistake, or we're not going to unredact that.
Okay. And are you going to be going back to see? I know like there's sort of like a procession now of members who are going.
Yeah, I'm scheduled for tomorrow morning too.
Okay. And what are you going to look into tomorrow that you haven't looked into today?
It just takes a while. There's millions of files.
Okay, this wasn't very exciting. I thought this was going to be another video like where he was frame mogging others. Right, have we got anything else that I wanted to cover? I mean, I did want to cover the Australia stuff, but I don't know whether to be stupid, not to be stupid and start it now. Oh my god, actually, wait. Piers Morgan was talking to that fucking insane Epstein fan lady. I don't know if I want to watch all of that, but let's have a listen to this.
I had a British girl reach out to me. A couple of months ago, I had a British girl reach out to me, and she said that her and her friends met Jeffrey Epstein in Virginia the weekend of March 10th, 2001 at the Dorchester Hotel. Virginia lured them to Jeffrey's hotel.
Wow, wait, I've just heard something here for the first time from a correspondent that I cannot confirm. Mr. Klein feeds his kids dog shit. I've never heard that one before, and I've heard that may be evil towards him, and I can't 100% confirm this, but yeah, I mean, you know, that's an incredibly kind donation, Marcus, and it's good to hear what reporting is going on the ground. Almost every sentence I want to super chat gets blocked. Thanks for the $5, Coffee Lover. Yeah, I think it's a bit too sensitive on certain things. Thank you for all the gifts and support today.
She made the girls lie and say that they were 18 years old. One was 13, one was 14. They actually signed NDAs with Virginia, and David Boies paid them off. Now, they're too scared to come out.
Well, unless you've got evidence for any of that, I'm not going to just allow you to spew any cock and bull conspiracy theory that has come to your mind.
Once David Boies, it might take to the point where he passes away, and then I feel like the floodgates will open, and all.
Well, you know what? David Boies might well sue you. David Boies might well sue you over what you've just said.
Well,
it's a
these
very
girls
serious
are
defamation.
in touch with the Metropolitan Police. So what I want to tell you is, I'm very much in touch with the police, literally on WhatsApp, and they know a lot of information that you guys are not privy to. But
do you know what, Victoria? With the greatest respect, I think you talk utter shit.
By the way, I just want to say, Piers Morgan was like bragging about how he had a phone call with Donald Trump recently. Like, I'm sorry, this guy doesn't give a shit about Jeffrey Epstein, but obviously he's fucking his biggest offender, you know. Donald Trump, that is.
All right.
And I'm sorry, I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly...
Okay, right.
Well, I've always been right about my conspiracies.
You
know,
don't
you
give
were
a
wrong
you
about
don't give a
COVID and you were wrong about the vaccine
you don't
fears.
you don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it.
Oh yeah, Piers Morgan is disgusting, and pretending that you're doing some kind of like subversive journalism and that is in any way meaningful when you have a phone call with Trump and you're best friends with Keir Starmer as well, you're matey with him. It's insane.
And I think it's
Why
shameful.
would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting this scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely
can we
baffle
talk
me.
about the quality of girls? So Anushka DeGiorgio as an example. You know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of...
Oh my fucking god, this woman is repugnant.
It is
Elephant Fish,
ridiculous.
Jesus Christ, that is an incredibly kind gift. Thank you for the 20 gifted. I every time these come in, I'm sat here waiting and seeing if Elab finally her dream is fulfilled. But thank you so much, Elephant Fish. Thank you so much. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It is utterly
thank you.
ridiculous.
Wow. Thank you both so much for supporting this and making this possible. Genuinely, thank you so much. Incredibly kind donations. This woman is an idiot, though, I will say. Let's see what Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say.
Killed. That's on an FBI form. That's not somebody calling in an anonymous tip or writing it on some deep, dark place in the internet. That's an actual FBI file stating what happened. And people are going to have to completely take in what they are seeing with their own eyes, what they're reading, and what they're being told. The reality is the Trump administration is not releasing the information.
Yeah, honestly, thank you all so much who are able to. Just watching, I mean, is incredibly helpful and appreciated. And telling all of your local friends about the greatness of the Chris Kunzler stream. You need to tell everyone about the greatness of the Chris Kunzler stream.
And I got yelled at by the president over this. This is why he called me a traitor. He called me a traitor because I would not take my name off the discharge petition, because I stood firmly and said, no, we're going to release the Epstein files. I'm standing with women who were raped as teenagers. I'm not standing with the government. I don't support the cover.
Look, in order to get the ban of Coffee Addict, it's going to have to be 50 trillion, I'm afraid. Wow, Sophie as well. Thank you so much.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Thank you so much. Every time, my problem is, though, is I sit and I wait and I see if Elab is getting this. Because it's not even a meme at this point. I just, thank you, honestly, guys. Thank you so much for the incredibly kind donations and support. A Coffee Addict, oh my god, thank you as well. Jesus Christ.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Wow. Thank you all so much, honestly. I'm incredibly grateful that I get to do this streaming thing. Like, I love it. I do want to carry on making TikToks a bit, but honestly, this stuff of just still, like, being able to do this and chat with you and talk about interesting stuff on stream is so incredibly interesting. Thank you so much for helping and supporting.
Of all of this stuff, whatever it may be. And the president got mad at me, and he's told me, and I've said this multiple times, he told me his friends would get hurt. And that's what he told me. And then we're seeing a continued slow walk and cover up of a lot of this information. And I know that is why. I firmly believe that that's why it is being covered up. Look, Pam Bondi works directly for Donald Trump. She is not out there an independent attorney general. She can't just run out and do whatever she wants.
Sophie, oh my God. Sophie, thank you so much. Honestly, Jesus Christ, thank you so much. Everyone who's donated and gifted, wow. And $2 may not be enough to get a Coffee Addict out, I'm afraid. I value him far more than $2.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Wow, honestly, thank you so much. And also, Joe, 6 months, you've just unlocked the Red Labubu. Unbelievable. And yeah, it is an incredible community. And how hard it is to fucking break into stream. It is incredible that this kind of support, and obviously, demonetization, it can be a bit of a fucking nightmare. But you know, I want to talk about these topics. So sorry. Also, we're gonna do one more Ethan video because one of you mentioned that he tries to make a joke about ICE. I want to hear this.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Hell for Michelle as well. Thank you so much. I think we probably hit the... I was not expecting to hit 100 memberships. 300 is fucking insane. I know it's not registering, but it must be up to getting to close to 300. I can't believe it. Thank you so much, Hell for Michelle. Jesus. Coffee Addict as well.
It is utterly
I feel like
ridiculous.
I'm just going to be sat here just like... I'm going to have to read off everyone's... This is so incredibly kind, and Coffee Addict, again, that is an incredibly kind donation. All of you are incredibly kind. Unfortunately, though, Elab, it's not happening.
She didn't say fuck ICE. She didn't say it fast enough. She's a racist chud. Can we all dogpile Emaru? She didn't say fuck ICE fast enough. I've been waiting jealously for the moment. Fuck ICE.
It is utterly
Carla
ridiculous.
Byrne, thank you so much for the one gifted membership as well. That's an incredibly kind donation, Carla. Thank you so much. Honestly, everyone, thank you so much. And by the way, once again, I just want to make this point of saying that in the context of what Ethan has been up to, of saying that ICE has really, really, really upset him, and that, you know, this stuff has really upset him. I get maybe talking a little bit about how, hey, you know, just going fuck ICE isn't enough, but simultaneously, like, kind of denigrating it and joking about it. It's just pathetic. Like, yes, Emaru should say that. And who is Emaru? Emaru is a cosplay streamer? Yeah. I'm a Zionist, and this is my comedy. Oh my god.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Guys, this is an incredibly kind... Oh my gosh. Right, Garlic... I don't even know who's getting gifted at this point. Garlic Fries, thank you for the gifted membership. Nola Magnolia, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. And Volcatronic, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you again. Thank you again for all of your support. So what did you miss about Emaru? Okay, so to brief...
It is utterly ridiculous.
Oh my god, this is just... It's never ending. W gifties indeed. So the whole Emaru crap kind of begins with her... She has like... So it begins with her doing a video that I can't actually talk about. Sorry, so she's a gaming IRL streamer, but she posted this long shit about ICE. She's a friend of Tectone and a friend of all of these horrifying people. Hello, it's very rare I will speak my mind, but I'd rather get my thoughts out there, so apologies if this is long. There is a clip of my stream that's been circulating a lot, so I'd like to explain it for anyone who was hurt or shocked by it. When the clip starts, I was responding to a mod asking a question that included the word ICE. I'm not sure someone who normally comments on or gives my opinion on serious real-world topics. So it didn't really click to me that they were referring to the agency. You can see in the clip when I say thoughts on ICE, there is an instant cut afterwards that makes it seem like I'm responding directly to that question, which I'm not. To clarify, since this has gotten a lot of people speculating about my real thoughts, it should go without saying, no one deserves to live their life in fear of being killed or taken away from their homes or families, regardless of who is doing it, but especially not because of ICE or any other government agency. I understand the world is a very cool, messed up place. You don't have to study politics or actively read the news to know that. I would never want to invalidate anyone who struggles with those things, and an agency like causing fear and suffering deserves zero support. To me, that's not even political. I mean, yeah, she's friends with Asmongold, by the way. Asmongold loves wanting to dress up as a Pokemon character, Ash Ketchum, and go and catch illegals. She hung around with the OTK people. She hung around with and she hung around with Tectone. She had a podcast with Tectone and Asmongold, and I bet it smelled crazy up in there. I love my cosplay streamers. You guys know what I'm like. I'm on my shit with my I'm playing gacha or gotcha games. I'm playing all of those. I'm watching Ethan Klein. I'm watching Emaru. I'm spending my money on prize picks, not an endorsement. I love that kind of stuff. I got a couple of million on the stake, and I'm watching Emaru all at once. I got Ethan on one monitor, Emaru on the other, Asman on the other. I love these guys. They're really good. But I need to hear from each of them how I should understand politics. Wait, what? Emaru border wall. Did you do a cosplay at the border wall? I don't think she did go to the border wall. Oh my god, she did?
It goes so far. What the fuck? And then it goes up that hill too. Look, another border patrol. We gotta go. Oh god, I'm stressed. We put our hands in Mexico though. That's really cool. I got a rock. We got our rocks. Jacob, do you want a picture? I think they're wondering if maybe we passed some drugs over there, bro. That would be crazy. My pictures are right up here. In your brain.
I don't know who any of these people are at all. I have no idea who they really are. I just know them from this.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Is the new computer saga finally over? Brother, I think you know that the new computer saga is over. Can you send me the right one? Alright, dreaming. Sorry, my friend asked me to do something, so I need to do this for him in a second. And also, coffee addict, coffee lover, not addict. Thank you for the $5. But yes, it is over. This is over. The new computer saga, and the reason I laughed, and the reason you can hit it right, is because, do you hear that? Do you hear that? Silence. You missed the humming of the old PC. It sat behind me and I need to do something with it. Okay, let's listen to this. I never made comments on stream about ICE in the first place. That was a dishonest and intentionally maliciously clipped post. It's a very common thing that clip accounts do to streamers, and it's becoming more and more common. But it should go without saying, no one should have to live in fear or suffer because of who they are or where they're from. This is something that's always been important to me. I just tend to try to focus my creative stuff around games and cosplay rather than try to take up room in an environment already polluted by information. Additionally, I thought I might as well bring this up now. It's a very traumatic and personal topic, so that is why I avoided talking about it. I will never be friends with anybody who abuses anyone, assaults people, or consumes content that enables the abuse of children. I mean, aren't you friends with Tectone? I mean, he's not consuming... I'm not insinuating that Tectone is consuming content harming children, but Tectone is someone who abuses someone, right? And he said... Wait, let's just... I'm getting reports in from a correspondent over at the Tectone stream. Wait, Tectone... Emaru. God, by the way, I should not be typing these kind of words. I should not be typing Tectone Emaru.
By the way, clearing things up. She ain't talking about me. She talking about Lakari and Miz. She ain't talking about me. Okay? I'm gonna talk about that later. By the way,
what is going on?
Clearing things up. She ain't talking about me. She talking about Lakari and Miz. She ain't talking about me. Okay? Hey, let's keep that shit 100%. That shit ain't about me. Motherfucker, hey, that's about Miz and Lakari. Fucking get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck off of me. Everybody's saying, oh, that's you. Fuck no, it's not. Fuck no, it's not. Twitter disagrees with you? Yeah, because that fits their headcanon.
Okay, so Emaru is still a fan of his, but she won't be friends with anyone who abuses anyone, or he's claiming that. Ice, more like not lice. Lol, I am woke and based. Marcus, thank you for the donation, the €2, and yes, that is true. They are not nice. I've always been a creator who is friends or on good terms with basically everybody. Streamers in Texas, LA, and in all different bubbles. And this has unfortunately included some bad actors. A lot of people have questioned how these bad actors found their way into my circle. But it is certainly not because I am okay with their vile behavior, not abuse, not sexual assault, nor pedophilia. These guys did their best to hide their behavior, not only from me, but from everyone around us. as long as they possibly could. As serious allegations or evidence came out, I always immediately dropped them and vowed never to never make content with them again. Basically, everyone in Austin did the same. These incidents, multiple of them of course, was something that the streamer community here talked about extensively and affected all of us a lot. I thought actions over words, this is, by the way, the biggest load of slop in the world. Like, you were still friends with Asmongold a few months ago when he said he wanted to dress up as Ash Ketchum and catch illegals. Okay, Tectone, I believe you. Thousands wouldn't. Wow. Yeah.
Say it. Say fuck ice. Shut up. Grow up. Who gives a fuck if Emru said fuck ice?
Healer realized that she wasn't getting. Healer's at Nash. You know what? Healer's just doing it for the love of the game. She is doing this for the love of the game. She's just laughing because, you know, haha, Israeli joke, Israeli humor, Israeli funny, as some might say. But none of the rest of them are laughing, and they are going to feel the wrath of the Klein household. No money for them.
How does that material affect anything? You think the people executed in the street are going to feel better because Emru said fuck ice? If it's not important. Like, if you...
Ethan, the difference between you and all of those people on the street and all of those people doing this kind of stuff is that they actually care about ICE. They cared about them. That is why, well, Renee Good actually seemingly wasn't that much of a major protester, right? But especially Alex Pretty was very much a protester against ICE. He was, like, I think in my understanding, maybe Renee Good, it was different. Her wife was an observer, if I'm correct. But Alex Pretty was out and about on the street because he wanted everyone to say fuck ICE. He wanted everyone to take action like he did. And I am sure if he saw a streamer who had, what, maybe 1 million followers, I don't know how many Emaru has, and they were sat there not saying fuck ICE, associating with a guy who said he wanted to do raids on illegals dressed up as a Pokemon, dressed up as not as a Pokemon, sorry, he's not dressing up as Pikachu or some shit, dressing up as Asmon, dressing up as Ash Ketchum. Yeah. I think he would have been upset by that. And I think he would have liked to hear people say fuck ICE.
Actually are the activists you care about. You be talking about something important, then crying about Emru not saying fuck ICE soon enough. The hell is wrong with you?
Cutie Cinderella literally never does political content.
Dude, let me guess, she said fuck ICE.
And she's capable of saying fuck ICE.
Yo, okay, guys, people on the street, everybody stand down.
Your entire content as well is literally just like, people are mean to me and I am suffering because I am Jewish and that's it. Like that's your politics, by the way. That's this guy's politics and his life and such. And yet he sits here and he's like, talk about something serious. When was the last time you talked about Palestine, man?
Cutie Cinderella said fuck ICE. We're done. Victory. Shut up, bro. Talk about something important. The fact that you're spending even a moment of your stream talking about how Emru didn't say fuck ICE fast enough proves what a disingenuous
something serious
activist.
Ooh, I accidentally played myself there. But also, by the way, it's kind of ironic. Yeah, like, I talk about fucking slop. Talk about slop and politics. I love talking about the Great March of Return in context of these idiots talking about it. That's actually what spurred me onto this. And then I thought we need a reprieve from pure Epstein content.
Loser you are that only cares about views and outrage just to farm fucking money and views and attention.
I also think that this extends beyond its importance because of how particularly repugnant Emaru's best friend is. Like, I really do think that that is something worth saying, or like someone who she's, you know, had a podcast with. The fact that she the fact that she is silent speaks volumes to me. Like, what was Asmongold saying today? Hold on, let's hear what Asmongold had to say.
Oh, God. Did you check out Emaru's apology? No, yeah. I haven't seen the Emaru apology stuff. I was gonna talk about it because like Asmongold apparently, like Emaru got yelled at because woke is back.
We do have to do something about this, and I will continue. Like I think I might ramp up my hostility towards the people online that are pushing these woke narratives. I think we might need to ramp it up and be even more militant and aggressive at these people. We do. I think we have to be a lot more militant and aggressive at them.
This is Emaru's close friend. Like, I think maybe she has a duty to speak up about ICE.
100%. Because if you're not, they'll do it to you. I'll link you guys like one of our Twitter communities. So there it is. They're used to being militant and aggressive. Yeah, well, we have to be even more aggressive. We have to be even more aggressive, even more hostile. And is this the example here? If I can find it. We're at 40,000 people. We have made 40,000 people. 40,000 people in this community. We have to be more aggressive with these people. Because you don't want to have them go around and bully and try to enforce their worldview on other people. That's what we need to do. I feel like you're just alienating moderates by being more like the left. That's just, bro, like... This, play by their rules and maybe they'll let you win. I don't function that way, okay? Other people like functioning that way. That's not what I do. I don't play by other people's rules. I do what I want, and that's it. They aren't winning, though. They absolutely, like, whenever they're able to bully and cause an effect like this, that's absolutely a win for them. They're going to see that as a win 100%. They absolutely will. So
by the way, it's also really funny that this guy does not leave his house. Like, he genuinely doesn't. He lives in rotting filth. In, like, he lives in somewhere that looks like straight out of it's just, I don't know, some decaying and rotten place in a Souls game with, like, gloop running all over the fucking place. Most proactive man online, by the way. Which one? I mean, either of them.
That's it. How about talking about ICE? You know what's worse than ICE? Emaru. We got to do something about her. What a fucking phony baloney, dude. Say fuck ICE. Say those words like that. Fuck ICE. She said it. She said the word.
Is he doing like an Asian accent here?
Oh, she said fuck ICE. All right, guys. Everybody clear out. Emaru said fuck ICE.
No, but it never ends with that. It's like once you say the two words they want, it's like, oh, but you didn't say enough.
No, what they would say, well, the first thing they say is performative.
Wait, but isn't that the point that Ethan's making? That, like, fuck ICE isn't enough? That you want to see something more significant? Okay, bro, yeah, that's good. But then when it happens on Palestine, you whine.
Didn't mean it.
Performative. That's what they say about
It's
me.
like, yeah,
They
it's
go, you just lie about being
it's everything that we've experienced.
Yeah. They say, are you against the genocide? I go, yes. Oh, well.
It is an apt comparison because Emaru is being questioned for very serious reasons for her association with a racist sack of shit and also another racist, misogynistic piece of shit, Tectone.
Oh, good thing you're... Shame that you're lying about being against the genocide. So why'd you even ask me? Fuck ICE!
Is he doing an Asian accent? Sorry.
Fuck ICE!
So, am I being crazy here?
Spike ICE AF.
Literally, did you even tweet about say fuck ICE? Did you literally even go on Blue Sky and tweet fuck ICE?
It really sounds like he's doing an Asian accent.
Literally. What are we gonna do?
In every situation, Ethan and Gila Klein are the victims of a vicious hate campaign online, even when it's about someone else who isn't a victim of a vicious hate campaign online.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do experiment. On 3, everybody say fuck ICE, and let's see if everything's fixed.
I'm not gonna say it.
You're not gonna say it, but then what are we gonna do? They're gonna continue to be. They're gonna continue to be meanies.
If you have that privilege of being able to speak on it, go do it.
So proud of
do
you.
it. God bless.
So proud
Fuck
of you.
ICE. I'm with you.
We're
But my God, let the girl
proud
take a
of you.
breather.
Yeah.
I wonder if denim stops everyone.
Okay. People are saying no to my thoughts about the Asian accent, so I'm just going crazy here. So you guys think I'm crazy? That's a really nice way to treat your favorite streamer.
When she passes,
it's a really kind way to treat your favorite streamer, to call them crazy. Because what you have to understand about me is I am a victim of like one of the most vile hate campaigns, and loads of you in here watch other streamers and you're evil towards me.
On the street. Have you said fuck ice? Have you said fuck ice? Have you said fuck ice? You need to say fuck ice. Just say it. Whisper it in the wind.
She's in the ice cream truck.
That's right. I bet Denims drives an ice cream truck.
You know, I keep staring at the two of them. It's really fascinating, like how almost similar the hairstyle is, and yet Denims look so terrible and outdated.
Have you said fuck ice? Pull over the street at red lights. Excuse me, sir. Roll down. Did you say fuck ice?
By the way, it's also really clear that this is what he wants to say about like Palestine-related stuff. Have you said? I mean, I'm sure he's done that. That like being questioned about whether you think that there's a genocide going on. Like, yeah, he doesn't like that. He wants to say it about Palestine. It's an amazing joke.
We need everybody to say fuck ice. Never mind going to a protest. Never mind talking about ice or fun.
Have you ever gone to a protest? The only protest I could ever see this guy going to is literally just like an Israel stop anti-Semitism protest.
Doing real advocacy. We need to stop everybody.
You don't get to be like, well, I don't agree with this whole taxes thing, so I'm just not gonna pay for it.
Okay, now explain your point, please. Go ahead.
You can't say like, well, I'm just not gonna care about all this politics stuff.
That's not politics. That's fucking. You have to pay. Your tax.
Yeah, you're
That's
talking
the
about
law. That's just the law. And it's like, so you stop at red lights. Right. You care. You don't care about politics because you stop at red lights. It's like this. Let me take the ice pick out of my brain.
Like, realistically, Asmongold is a straight-up Nazi. She's friends with him, right? They're still friends. I don't think anything has changed in their relationship. Asmongold is someone who, like, loves Nick Fuentes. He's someone who's, like, cast slight aspersion or doubt on whether the Holocaust happened. So, like, I don't know, bro. I feel like I'd be pretty happy to hear that people were interested in hearing what Emaru has to say. But I think ChatGPT isn't working right now, so yeah, it's difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, the equivalent of Ethan and Hila is them running around going, have you posted the blue square? 10 out of 10 pro-Israel content creators like myself have experienced anti-Semitism where people have accused us of supporting genocide. Post the blue square to support us.
Okay. Or even the opposite. It's like, hold on, let me put this ice pick in my brain. Oh, you have to pay taxes, so you don't say fuck ice. It doesn't even make sense. There's no logic.
God, this show. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Girl with a Microphone and Harley Morenstein are saving this because I think it's pretty hard to send this any further down the shitter. This show is at rock bottom, man. What is going on here? A 4-minute joke here. A 4-minute joke. Yeah. Actually, maybe you'll see Ethan at the Reddit protest. Hey guys, I'm here to protest a Reddit today because they've launched a snut campaign against me. And
it is utterly ridiculous.
No one else has gone through that. Coffee Lover, thank you for the $5. Ethan isn't funny at all. Hey man, check your privilege. Not everyone has the ability to be funny. Ice picks are how they used to do lobotomies. Now they do them by making people watch H3. All right, guys. As much as I would like to carry on streaming, I need to quickly do the mod meeting, and then I need to get off. It's quite late, later than I'd expected. I think I'm very happy with how the stream went. I'm incredibly grateful for all of the donations and support. Once again, as I always say, thank you for doing streaming possible. Thank you for everyone who's been here. Thank you for the incredible amount of gifted subs. I hope that you have a lovely, lovely rest of the day. I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be doing. I might cover the Australia stuff because I'm meaning to cover that today, so we might do that tomorrow. But see you later. The stream VOD will be up, by the way, if you got here later. You can watch.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Oh, Brat, quickly, I'll just do this. Ethan and Hila are insufferable. It's weird. We got all of these citizen journalists sending in reports telling us Ethan isn't funny, and also Ethan and Hila are insufferable. I hadn't actually had this confirmed until we heard from our resident Ethan and Hila correspondents. No, thank you so much, Brat. I better run. I'm sorry that it's at the end. Oh, Brat, have you just donated again? No, you haven't. It's just showing up twice. Perfect. All right, guys. I'll see you all later.